Hey kids, you're listening to the internet's wettest podcast about video games, consoles, and pancakes. The SML Podcast.
Prepare for the SML Podcast.
Interesting.
Is it interesting though? Is it? No.
I kind of think it is.
No, you don't.
Because I don't understand. Yeah, I do. I don't understand why it's doing it, and therefore that interests me.
Yeah, but you don't understand why I do half the crap I do, and then you're like, ugh.
Well, you don't interest me. That interests me.
Yeah, but it's related to me, like,
That's
by
irrelevant.
association. So no, it's not. It's my headset.
You like Gundam. We've had conversations on that. I still like Gundam. It still interests me, even though you have something to do with it.
Yeah, that's
He
true.
is the creator of Gundam.
Don't. I will hurt you. That is such an insult. I mean, even Jacob, I'm sure, would agree that that is a grievous insult.
Me being the inventor of Gundam?
Yes.
Well, no, because then I'd be like getting license money from Aki for all the Gunpla she buys.
That'd be awesome.
God, I buy so fucking
Dude, you would be
much.
so rich if you owned Gundam.
I know.
Just
Yeah,
off Aki.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We're not going to go to how much I spent this month, actually. Never mind.
How much
No,
did you spend?
Let's
hear it.
Too much.
Let's hear it.
Do we really want to say this?
All right.
Because it is really
All right,
bad.
hold on. Okay. Is it 4 digits?
No, I cannot spend that
No,
much.
that's not.
I literally do not have the funds for that.
Okay.
I could do that on a single gun.
Is it less than I'm going to pay for the Assassin's Creed Collector Edition?
How much is that?
But
like
yeah, how much is that? I don't know
$250?
how much.
Ooh.
It is not less than that.
And that's probably going to be
It
the
is
last
definitely
one I
not
buy,
less.
too. Like, I haven't been getting anything for collector's editions lately. I've been avoiding physical in general.
Yep.
Fair. You know, I used to be a big proponent of it until my internet got real good. And then I'm
Yeah.
like, it's cheaper that way.
Yeah, it's just pure laziness at this point. So, what's up, everyone? This is the SML Podcast. I'm sure I'm going to keep some of that. Aki's here, Bri's here, Jacob's here, blah, blah, blah. How are you doing?
Pretty good.
Yeah, pretty good.
Jacob,
But
how you doing?
I'm all right. Sorry, I was just making a clarification about my entry into the contest.
Got it.
Oh, look
Oh,
at you.
Thank you, Jacob.
Doing a
I
nice.
appreciate that.
Doing a nice.
Yeah, I already have the game, so I was like,
How do you like it? I assume you've played it.
I don't know.
You have not apparently. Okay. Well, if I win it, I'm pretty sure it's co-op. I will play it with you if you want.
Aww.
Aw, friendship's
Only-
building on this show.
I don't mind playing games with any of you. I'm always fine with that as long as I have it and I actually want to play it.
Yeah, I have
Things
I have no
building.
clue.
I actually want to have a serious discussion on something this week. We've talked about it a few times in previous weeks. I want to get everyone's opinion on achievement stacks. Like, I want to. This is something like at first I was like, ooh, an Xbox One version and a Series X version. I could play the same game twice and get double achievement points. And if it's quick and easy, yay. But that was like one game a week it would do it. Every other week it would do it. Now we're getting
now you
4 or
get,
5
like, 3 or 4 a
games
week.
each week that has an Xbox stack, a Series stack, a Windows stack, a bundle of all 3, a bundle of the 2 console version. Like, it's getting way out of control.
As someone who likes achievements but doesn't go out of their way to get an achievement score, I never particularly cared for the concept of stacking. For me, I buy a game once, and that's generally it. If I really, really like it, I might buy it usually on another system. not for a stack, but just because I really like it and I want to play it all over again. And if I can get stuff for it, why not? So I've never particularly liked stacks, and I think it's extremely egregious at this point.
Bri, what are your thoughts? Because I know. Okay, Jacob, what are your thoughts?
I was gonna say I could honestly care less. Like it's just
you
whatever.
Could care less, or you couldn't care less.
I couldn't care less. Like. Because it's just like if people want to do that and waste their time and their money on it, then whatever, go for it. I honestly didn't really care about it until I had a Windows computer that was capable of playing some of these games. And so now I've been collecting some of these stacks and like actually putting them to use, like not just building up a backlog, as per usual. Like Wolfenstein Youngblood. I bought that thing like... when did that game come out? 2018?
Something like that.
Yeah. I think I bought it. Yeah. I think I bought it in like 2019. I haven't touched it at all. Like, so...
Dude, I have 360 games I never touched.
I have Xbox... Yeah. I have OG Xbox games I never touched.
Oh, Jesus.
Like...
I would say I do too, but I don't own any original Xbox games anymore.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
The last one.
Oh dang! I still have like my favorites, like, and I'm never going to sell my copy of Advent Rising. Like that, and the first Mass Effect game will be like the last games I ever sell.
Yeah, I got rid of them because they're not playable on current gen, and the ones that are playable on current gen, I have digital.
Yeah, that's fair.
360, I'm keeping those because those have, online services still. They have multiplayer, they have achievements. The original Xbox, like I would need to have an original Xbox to play those games, and that's one more thing I don't want to hook up.
Yeah, but like going back to the stacks thing, like so here's my thing.
We didn't have stacks on original Xbox.
Didn't have achievements either.
Yeah, I mean, all right. So like, here's my thing. Like, if like Windows and Xbox versions, I get okay, different versions for that. It's when you start getting into like the ridiculous crap of like Xbox One versus Xbox Series X versions. I mean, like seriously, what's the difference? Like, is there? Not really, probably.
No, most of these games don't have any discernible difference between any of the versions. It's just it's a separate achievement stack.
Right. And so it's like, it's when you get to the stuff that's like one step after Fall or whatever the heck it was called.
Where it was like language releases.
Yeah. That's when I'm like, no, like
separate languages should not be a separate stack. And I'm glad Xbox stood up to that one.
Yeah. Otherwise,
languages should not be paid. That's garbage.
Yeah.
So Bri, how about you?
Yeah, what are your thoughts on this? I know you love achievements.
I'm kind of torn because I love getting gamer score. It's started to feel like a job to play all these stacks, but at the same time, if you are trying to be reasonably competitive with your gamer score, like I am, I need the stacks. They're really helpful.
So who are you competing against, though?
The stats on for achievements, like I am ranked on leaderboards. I'm the number 4 or 5 in the world for gamer score right now.
Oh shit! Seriously?
Yes.
Oh wow. Okay.
Wait,
wow.
What number are you?
I think I'm 4 or 5. I haven't checked in a couple of days, like where I'm standing for women. But yeah.
Oh, all right. I was gonna say for overall, I think there's a couple higher, but
no, I'm like 111 or 110 in the world for gamer score. So
damn.
I'm getting close to 3 million. I'm a little over 100,000 away from that, so that'll be my next big milestone.
Nice.
Jeez.
So yeah, I mean, the thing is, if you want to keep up with everybody else who's playing the same game, so to speak, And by that I mean the achievement game, like you almost have to keep playing the stacks and keep on top of all of these, title updates and all of these things just to stay at your current ranking.
I wonder
You
if
have to
that's
do
why
that.
they do all these stacks too. It forces like marketing.
Oh yeah.
You
Like,
are
it's
111
like
right now. Holy shit.
Yeah.
I'm apparently in the top 2,000. And I don't even try.
For women?
No, overall in the world.
Oh.
1626.
And let's see, where's for gamer score in the US? I'm 34.
Damn.
Yeah.
Injuries top 200. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Xbox leaderboards.
That is nuts. But yeah, you're obviously on both sides of the issue, kind of.
Yeah,
Where
but it does.
You view them as a
feel-
necessary evil, I guess.
Yeah, yeah.
But what if they didn't have the stacks? Then all the other people that you were competing against wouldn't be
Wouldn't
playing the
have them
stacks.
either.
They wouldn't exist.
Right. No, that's true. That's true. But at this point, like, it's also nice when I'm having a rough week with other stuff, or I'm just not like feeling playing other games or whatever. Like, it's a good quick fix to just play a stack.
Fair.
Because I already know how to play it. It's quick and easy, and it gives me that gamer score boost. So yeah, it's the necessary evil.
How many games come out that just suck and have stacks? They're not fun. They're difficult. It's friggin' Sokoban or something. Difficult precision platformers. Like they all just seem to blend together anymore.
Sometimes definitely they blend together.
Like, I don't want to mention any company names because they're just trying to put out quality products for people to enjoy. But some of these developers just copy and paste what they do into another game, change the backgrounds, change it from an apple to a turnip or whatever. Instead of coins, they're gems. And it's a whole new game.
Yeah.
With 3,000 achievement score base somehow. Games launching with 2,000. How are games launching with 2,000 gamer score?
I thought they were getting like title updates at launch.
Because the ruling is now something like you can do it every 6-month period. There's nothing that said you had to wait 6 months from the date of launch. It's within that 6-month period. So some people are opting to do their first title update at launch, and then they wait 6 months to get the next one up.
I mean, there's indie games that have 5,000 gamer score, and that's just unnecessary.
Yeah.
Unless it's something like the Master Chief Collection where it is fair because there's like 7 games there.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That's obviously a separate case.
According to True Achievements, I'm in the top 12,000 for gamer score.
GG. Retired USAF gamer saying, I blame the PSN bullshit. People will buy random cheap games for trophies, and now they're following suit. I kind of see how it's similar to what's going on PlayStation, but Sony is just completely hands off, and they don't give a shit. Xbox at least tries to, like on PlayStation, you could release one level of a game for $1, give it a platinum trophy, and then level 2 is another $1 with a platinum trophy. Level 3 is $1 with a platinum trophy, and it just goes on and on. At least Xbox is cracking down, and they don't allow shit like that. I'm really getting tired of seeing so many stacks every single week. Even if you ignore them and don't play them, they're clogging up the store. We don't need to see an indie game with 6 listings.
Yeah.
What I would like is, instead of stacks, I would like them to bring back the Play Anywhere thing. Where
that's what they should be.
Yeah, like I would like to have saves go between the consoles and the PC because they can do it. There's plenty of games that do exactly that. Yeah. So I would like that to happen, where it's one achievement list, whatever system you're on, play it, save moves between all 3 of them just fine. I would love that to be brought to more games because that is really fun to me.
But it's on the developer to want to do that. And, a lot of these companies that are doing the stacks are trying to make as much money as they can fast. And they have found the formula that works because of people like me who need those numbers and are willing to, spend their time and
Give
more
me the
money
cheese!
to do so.
Give me the fucking cheese!
No, I was gonna say it's like that meme of the little girl at the ball game who's had way too much sugar. Yeah, that's me some days.
I am not familiar with that one.
I'll see if I can find it and send it to you.
Please do, because that sounds funny.
It's just exhausting to look through the store these days, it feels. And then there's, I don't even know if I should mention this series, but everyone's going to know what I mean, where every Friday they have a brand new collection of some of the games in their series bundled for like $100. Every week it's a different bundle. Every week it's a new bundle. And they're not new games. They're just new bundles every week.
I can think of a couple games that do that.
Yeah, I'm not sure which one you're talking about.
I don't like that.
One with zombies, I'll just say that. It's exhausting to browse the store anymore. It is so hard to find what you're looking for on the store because there's so many multiples and bullshit. It is exhausting.
The series with zombies in it. I don't know how to tell you this, Joe, but you're gonna have to be a bit more specific about zombies.
We can talk about it after the show.
Yeah.
Just somebody write it in Discord.
I wrote it in chat.
In chat? Oh, on Twitch.
You're an idiot.
Let's see.
Yeah, that was the series I was thinking.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Yeah.
That was not the series I was thinking of at all, but I don't play those at all, so.
I think I played one, like, when they first came out or something like that. I don't remember, but
I guess nothing's gonna change unless
fall into the
people
abyss.
start. Oh, we're getting raided.
butthole.
Horror Acolyte dropping 14 people into our buttholes, I guess. Welcome in, everyone. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for coming in. Horror Acolyte. Someone give him a shout out. Good peoples. Good peoples. And thank you for the biddies, USAF Gamer. I guess I don't think anything's going to change unless people speak with their wallet, and it seems like they are voting with their wallet and they like it.
Yeah.
I don't think that's I don't really know if that exactly is actually the case, because lots of these games that do that don't require a ton of effort on the part of the developer. So even if not very many people are buying them, they can keep going because, it doesn't take them that much to actually make the game. Yeah. So, and since they're often reusing most of the same assets, it costs them next to nothing to make 10 of that game. And then
with 3 sets of each one costs them $5.
Yeah, so even if just a handful of people are buying it, that's enough for them to keep making it, because even if they're making like $500, it probably costs them like, 30 or 40 to do that. So it's like,
well, they have like ESRB fees, and you have to, submit them and wait for approvals and certification and what. It's not like it's an easy income source, but an easy income source is injury subbing for Lady McGreed. Thank you for the $2. I will put it to you. I just bought my VGMCon ticket today, the train ticket.
Nice. When's that?
I wanted to cry when I hit approve. Like, I tried to order it last night, and the card was declined for fraud protection.
Oh,
which
no.
I can understand. It's a big purchase being made online in the middle of the night. So the bank is like, is this you? Or yay, nay. So I approved it. They're like, all right, try it again. Try it again. Card was declined again. Talk to the bank. They're like, oh, it was over the daily limit.
Oh.
Jeez.
Round trip ticket for 3 trains each way, because there's 3 portions you got to do. $1,600.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. You feel better about your Gundam purchases now?
Yeah, my Gundam costs less than that.
So, important question.
Tax money.
Do you plan to bring a CRT monitor and play
goddamn right
Brothers?
I do. I'm going to get a
are you afraid
backpack
of
for
flying?
the CRT. I am petrified of flying.
Okay, fair.
First off, I'm huge, so I would need 2 seats, so that doubles the cost. Second, I'm scared to hell of flying. And third, how many fucking plane accidents have there been this year? With Trump in the past month, with dickhead in chief running things and cutting programs and killing the FA. Like, I'm not flying. No fucking way am I getting on a plane.
I don't want to hear about accidents or anything else because I'm about to fly. So let's not talk about that.
Well, you asked.
No, I asked if you were afraid of flying because I was going to suggest flying because it would cost like maybe
it would cost significantly less to fly. It would probably cost less to take a bus. It would definitely cost less if I went with coach seats the entire way. But after doing that last time on the trip from Pittsburgh to Chicago, is going to be a roomette, which is a tiny little room that I could actually sleep in.
Those are so nice.
I've never done one, but I've seen pictures. They look good enough for me. Unfortunately, the trip from Chicago to St. Paul, I have to do a business class, just normal seat, no roomette. But on the trip back from St. Paul to Chicago and Chicago to Pittsburgh, I have roomettes for both of those.
Nice.
So it's significantly more. Each of those stretches from Chicago to St. Paul and Chicago to Pittsburgh are about 9 to 10 hours.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So that makes sense then.
Yeah, it was really, really hard doing the trip last year, especially the trips going into Chicago because they were packed. Like I had a dude sleeping on my shoulder, and all I could do was just sit on my phone and browse Reddit.
I mean, you could.
At least you didn't get sexually harassed.
True.
Fair.
Very
Last
true.
time I was on a train, that totally happened to me.
Ooh,
Guy was completely jerk in the seat next to me. Oh, well, he was really rude to me from the start, and I was just sitting there knitting. Well, actually, I was nail binding, but point being, I was mostly just keeping to myself. The guy in the seat in front actually, like, pulled the guy aside a couple times and told him to chill the fuck out. And then, like, finally at the end, he was, like, drunk enough, I guess. And he asked me what I was doing finally, like 12 hours into the trip. And I explained to him and he's like, oh, I thought you was a stuck up white bitch. And I was like, no, you were just a rude asshole.
Did you have anything sharp in your hands that entire time? Because you said knitting, then you said something else that I don't know.
Yeah, it's a kind of knitting called nail binding. It's a needle, but it's not a sharp needle. It's like about, I don't know, 2 inches long and it's made of wood or like heavy metal. But yeah.
I'm sure it still would have hurt if you stabbed me.
It's an ancient medievally type knitting. Yeah, I mean, I could scoop an eyeball out with it.
I mean, he had an eyeball.
You could just skewer it and pop it in and pull it out. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, last time I was on the train, I was too damn young for anyone to be doing that shit to me. So, I haven't been on a train since I was a little kid.
Yeah, it was not fun last year, but VGM Con I thought was worth it, so I want to do it again this year. Hopefully the roomettes will make the trip better. It's in April, so we're going to take like a week off in April, so I can go to that. Maybe 2 weeks off, we'll see.
I'll be getting new Gunpla then too.
The good thing is with the roomettes, it'll allow me to bring my Xbox and my X screen. I could just play Xbox on the train the whole way. What's an X screen? An X screen is a tiny little portable screen that screws onto the back of the Series S and the screen folds down. It is really friggin' cool. Yeah.
I just have a little USB monitor that I bring with me that can plug into the back of my S.
Nice.
I'm sorry, it plugs in the back of your what?
S. Series S.
Oh.
Not into the back of her ass. Okay.
That's
I
what
know
it
that's
sounded
exactly
like.
what you heard. I knew it. Oh, that's really cool. That actually seems
Yeah.
like a decent size, even.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, well,
like an
same
11-inch
size.
screen. We had it at MagFest, and it worked really well.
Nice.
Yeah, it was a pretty good investment, so I'm glad I'll have it for the trip. It doesn't use any extra cords or anything. It plugs into the USB port on the back, plugs into the HDMI port. There's a hole where it lets you put the normal power cord into the system directly, and you can have your expansion card plugged in as well.
Damn, that's really cool.
Sweet.
Yeah. The only thing I'm going to have to do is make it my home console and check all the games are good, because I won't have reliable internet on the trip.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, it is spotty. Trains go off of like cell towers.
Hmm.
Wait, you can play that on the train?
Yeah. Last year I watched wrestling on the train in Discord with friends. Like my normal wrestling night on Discord, we still had that. I was just on my iPad watching.
Interesting.
Yeah, sometimes I'd have to switch to my iPhone because the connection would drop. I wouldn't have internet on the tablet. It was such a pain in the ass. So hopefully an Xbox will keep me more entertained.
Especially if you have a rematch.
Amtrak encourages it, so that was a good thing to see.
Yeah. I don't think I'll use it in my business class seat because it'll be in my actual luggage. And I would have to like unzip my luggage in front of everyone and pull it out. But I don't know. I don't know if I would want to have it on my lap playing with someone sitting next to me.
Yeah.
Fair.
So, anything anyone else want to talk about, or should we dive into the news?
I think the news is good because I can't think of anything else. I'm dumb.
Bri, anything you want to talk about? Jacob, anything?
I got nothing.
Yeah.
Now, who is doing what with a microphone?
I have no idea.
It's not me.
I was going to say, I'm going medievaling this weekend. Yay.
Ooh, what are you doing?
I'm going to the 50th anniversary of an event. So they've been doing this in this particular area for 50 years. It's called Ymir. It's, named after the frost giant. But it's just a good, fun event. We'll be playing in the snow. There'll be fighting. There'll be merchants. There'll be games. There'll be dancing. There'll be food. It'll be awesome.
Sounds fun.
Yeah.
I wish I lived in an area that had shit like that going on.
You probably have more close to you than you realize, but
Maybe.
yeah.
I know we have
Yeah, but
Kielbasa
that's-
Festival up here.
Hell yeah, you do. Oh man, I miss going to the Kielbasa Festival. That thing was dope.
You would
Like that
love it.
guy. It was great. There was a guy who would sell Jamaican jerk kielbasa wraps out of the back of his car, and it was like shady as hell. But I swear to God, they were the best things of all time. Like, those things are like. I dream about like the food at that place. It was so good. I miss it.
I dream about cool stuff. You dream about kielbasa.
So,
Pointing that out.
kielbasa is cool stuff.
Street food at Jam? Hells yes.
Yeah, it is.
So should we get to news then?
Oh,
Yeah.
I should probably bring up news.
All right. I think the big story of the week is that the Marvel Rivals director confirmed his whole team had been laid off by NetEase despite the amazing performance of the game. NetEase is saying that they just want to bring all of their work in-house instead of having it across the globe, but that's still shitty to drop the whole team
Yeah, it was like
when
the
it's
Seattle
performing
development team.
so well.
Yeah, that sucked.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest. I don't buy it at all. That it was just like, oh, it's a money issue. I think.
Well, it was a money issue. The money issue
They
is they
wanted
want more
more.
money.
Yeah, but I mean, like, as in like they don't like other like overseas companies are not wanting to deal with America's bullshit. And
Very
so
possible.
it's just like I honestly think that they were just like, oh shit, okay, America's looking like it's going to collapse pretty soon, and they're also going to give us like a ton of shit. Like
Let's get the fuck
we're
out.
not just yeah, like so we're not having to deal with their bullcrap. Like that's how I'm seeing it.
I don't want to deal with other Americans, so I can't blame them.
Yeah.
There's a song for you to play at the end of the show.
Which one?
I'm afraid of Americans.
Oh yeah, there we go. I don't know if I could get away with that though.
Well, just to, during the regular hangout session on stream.
I was thinking for the actual show.
Oh man, that would be great.
Maybe I'll try it and upload it and see what happens.
Yeah. That seems risky.
Yeah, it does. Risky business. But it'd be funny if it works.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, to me, it just sounds like, a company is going to claim the video and make like 4 cents a year. I don't care.
I'm sure I've told the story before of how I demonetized everything on YouTube because after like 8 years of being monetized, I still hadn't made enough for a payout.
Yeah.
Which is like
yeah,
$20.
that's why I'm not concerned.
Yeah. So I just demonetized every video on YouTube. It's not worth it to me. I fucking hate ads. I'm so tired of ads. Oh.
Aren't we all?
Yeah.
Aren't we all?
Anyway, some good news. Game Pass has a couple of games joining. Not a bunch. More leaving than joining, but we got some good stuff joining. On the 18th, we got Avowed.
Yay.
Yay.
Hey, I plan to
We'll
fire
hear
up
my
this weekend.
opinions next week.
Tease
I look
us.
forward
Do you
to hearing
like it?
Fuck yes.
Me too.
I'm not saying that I'm playing Avowed right now,
But you're
but
playing Avowed right now.
That's the kind of thing that
A
somebody who's
little
playing
bit.
Avowed might say.
No.
just a little bit.
I'll be honest. I want to end this show so I can play more Avowed. I'm like I don't play any games anymore because I'm too busy and I've been in such a mental funk that like nothing seems enjoyable to me anymore except sleep, obviously. I'm like
Sleep is
30
pretty
hours in
great,
Avowed.
That's good to hear.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
nice.
am absolutely loving my time with Avowed so far.
It's good to hear.
The 20th, we got F124 and Warhammer 40k Rogue Trader.
What kind of game is that Warhammer 40k game?
CRPG. It's very similar to Baldur's Gate.
Okay.
The different setting and all that, obviously. And then next week, we're
yeah,
getting
there.
Watch Dogs Legion on the 25th.
That's exciting.
Nice. It's something. I'm sure someone probably might really enjoy that.
That's one of those games, like we were talking about earlier, that like I have that I've never played. I totally need to play the whole series. I started the first game in the series and I was so tragically bad at it. It was hilarious.
The first one's okay. It's not amazing. The second one's really good. The third one, as I said, someone somewhere probably might like it.
Okay.
Retired
I need to
USAF
finish it.
asking, how many Warhammer games are there? Seems to
A
be
lot.
like a new game every
A
month.
lot.
I pulled up
there's a
true
lot.
achievements. Let's see. Total War, Warhammer 1, 2, and 3. 40k, Battle Sector, Bolt Gun, Chaos Gate, Demon Hunters, Darktide, Dawn of War 2, Inquisitor, Martyr, Kill Team, Mechanicus, Mechanicus 2, Rogue Trader, Shooters, Blood and Teeth, Space Marine 2, Space Wolf, Age of Sigmar, Realm of Ruin, Age of Sigmar, Stormground, Warhammer Quest, Quest 2, Warhammer Battle March, Warhammer Chaos Bane Slayer Edition, Warhammer End Times Vermintide, and Vermintide 2. That's how
a lot.
many.
Yeah. And that's just on Xbox. Steam has more of them.
Yeah, those are just
Yeah,
the ones
like-
on Xbox with achievements.
Yeah,
there's around
there's
20 to
actually a
30.
Wikipedia list of every single Games Workshop video game, and it even includes canceled games too.
Oh, geez.
So,
I bet there's a lot of those as well.
actually, not that many. It looks like 9 total between 1984 and 2024.
They're
Canceled
also
games?
present in crossovers.
Yeah,
There's what?
Power Wash Simulator. They're also present in crossovers.
Oh, yeah. I
Oh,
forgot
yeah.
about Power Wash for a minute.
So there you go.
I remember that in that.
Now, we got to talk about games leaving Game Pass because it's not just fun stuff joining. There's some stuff leaving.
Yeah.
There's a lot leaving, and there's some big ones leaving. F122 is leaving EA Play, so that'll be gone from Game Pass as well. Grease, Maneater, Paw Patrol World, Space Engineers, another Warhammer game, Bolt Gun, Wolong Fallen Dynasty, and Yakuza 3 and 4.
A lot of good games leaving.
A lot of good games leaving.
Everyone go play Maneater real quick. That'll take you like a weekend. You can do it.
Yeah.
Maneater's fun.
Maneater was fun.
I might end up buying that just so I can
Except the DLC
go buy the
boss
DLC.
pissed me off.
Okay, never mind. Never mind.
The DLC is really fun. No, it pissed me off because there's like in previous fights you can like leave the arena and this one you can't. So it's just it was an adjustment and it was annoying.
Yeah, the only arena I had to leave in that one was the one against, I think it was like a killer whale or something. And it took me, I had to leave that arena a few times to beat that boss because no, that one was ridiculous.
Oh, man. Well, we mentioned 3 and 4 with Yakuza. There's another 3 and 4 that's getting talked about. Rumors are abound that Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3 and 4 Remastered is going to launch this June on Xbox, PlayStation, and PC, as well as Game Pass. There have been Tony Hawk related signs showing up in Call of Duty with a March 4th date showing. So we don't know if we're going to see the game launch then, if we're going to see a trailer launch then. People were speculating it might drop during Xbox's showcase in the summer, but I guess we'll find out more in March.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm kind of excited for that. I haven't played one of those, obviously, in a long, long time. So...
I'll play 1 and 2.
Sounds pretty interesting. No, I'm good.
I'll be good. I'd like to play one. Well, there's one you could play. Nah.
I mean, I could play most of them because I still have a PS2, but that's where I played them all, and I'm good with those memories. I don't want to taint them just in case.
The remaster's really good.
Huh, okay.
Yeah, 1 and 2
That might be fair,
Remastered has
then.
gotten very high marks. You should give it a go.
Okay. I might then.
Nintendo is ending their Gold Points program. The final day to earn points will be March 24th, and they will expire in 1 year.
Those were when you bought stuff, you got gold points, and that was like money back or something?
Yeah, it was.
Right?
I think it translated to like a 5% rebate, something like that.
That's a shame.
It was nice. It was
really
a nice
cool
bonus, but yeah, they're getting rid of it. I know Xbox has been slashing their Microsoft Rewards program. Well, that's Microsoft, not Xbox Rewards. They've been cutting a lot of programs you could do on there, a lot of the tasks and missions. Everyone's just cutting rewards. Want to save money.
Why give people anything for free when you don't have to?
Yeah.
And it's not like they're a multi-billion-dollar a year profit corporation or anything.
Yeah,
and
for real.
could afford to give out, 5% rebates by the bucket full. No. That's how you become. You can't be a trillionaire if you don't hoard everything.
I think I used to get 10% rewards from Microsoft until they changed their loyalty program. Now it's like 2%. Yeah, it sucks. I don't even bother with rewards anymore. If I get them, I'll stock them up. But I redeemed what I could this year. I'll redeem what I can next year. I'm just going to stop trying.
Yeah, I get the reward points whenever I remember to do it. I don't. Most of mine come from like being on Bing and stuff. Because I just use that as my search engine because like I don't care what search engine I use, so that gives me points that I can use to eventually one year get some gift cards. Fuck it, I'll just use that one. It doesn't befront me any, whether it's that or Google or what. So
yeah, I used to get a $10 gift card every month without a lot of effort, and now I'm lucky if I get one every 3 months.
Yeah. It's a bummer.
It's always taken me years but I've always gone for like the $50 gift card because it always had the best, rates for it. So I always went for that one, and it takes me years and years. I think I've gotten it like 3 or 4 times. So
I mean, there were years I earned more than I could spend just because of what we spent on the store. But with that changing, I'm gonna spend less.
Yep.
Fair.
The incentive isn't there. Kingdom Come 2 has already sold 2 million units.
Cool. Congrats to them. That's awesome.
They've made a profit, which is great.
Yeah.
Nice.
How's that, Bri? We're going to talk about that one in a few minutes, yeah?
Yeah.
Got some spoilers on it?
I had a good time with it.
So find out why.
Yeah, from the sultry sound of her voice, she said that. I'm going to say she probably liked it.
How was the game? It was good.
That's basically what she did, yeah.
Yeah. Last bit of news I have. Fantasy Life I, The Girl Who Steals Time, has been confirmed for a May 21st release date. Originally planned as a Switch exclusive, Level 5 broke off their publishing deal with Nintendo so they could self-publish the game, and it will also release on PS4, PS5, PC, Series X and S. Level 5, finally developing for Xbox again, will support cross-play and cross-save.
Nice.
I don't know what this is, but now I really want to know what this is.
It's an action-adventure life sim. It looks really, really good. The first one, I believe, was a 3DS game.
I have the trailer up now, if it plays.
Yeah, it's the same developer of the Ni no Kuni games.
Oh, okay.
And they were originally going to do True Fantasy Live online for the original Xbox, but that went to hell, and then they haven't done shit for Xbox since.
Fair, I guess.
That they have a very storied history of games. Let me pull up their wiki so I could not fuck up what games they do. I know they do the Dark Cloud games. They do the Ni no Kuni games. Let me see here. They also do the Professor Layton games.
I miss the Dark Cloud games. I fucking loved those games. Both of those were real fun.
They did Dark Cloud, Rogue Galaxy for the PS2. The Professor Layton games, White Knight Chronicles for PlayStation. They've been working on some recent Dragon Quest games.
Nice.
So they've got a lot going on, and it's nice that they're finally putting something new on Xbox. And I hope that we see more of their stuff come there. I'm honestly surprised they never put any of the Inazuma 11 games on there, which is basically like a soccer RPG.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've never even heard of those. Interesting.
I think most of them have just been in Japan.
Really, what I want is just a Dark Cloud 1-2 remake put everywhere. I think
really Sony owns that property.
So fun. I think so too. I'm not 100% sure, but they could put it. I would be fine even if they put it on Steam. I just really like those games, and I missed them. They were so fun and they were so cute. I still have both of my copy of each of them. So for PlayStation 2,
let's fire them up. What are you waiting for?
My PlayStation 2 is broke.
Oh.
It's been broke for years, or else I would probably still have it hooked up and playing it on a regular basis. Some of my favorite games are still on that system.
Nice. Well, that's all the news I have. Aki, what do you got?
All right. So there's a new game that's coming out. We don't know when exactly, but Samurai Pizza Cats, for anyone who remembers old
yes.
TV.
I messaged
Yeah.
Joe at like 9 a.m. this morning, like, oh my God.
Both of you
Yeah, I
messaged me. You're both
I
like,
got an
messaged
email
you
about
too.
that.
look at
morning,
this.
Yeah.
I want this so bad. Both of I'm like, ugh. And then I saw who's running PR for it, and we're only getting one code for it. I'll warn you now.
Yeah.
All right, so Aki
No,
and I
he
have to
brought-
fight each other to the death. So
He brought it up first, so it's his. I'm fair. He brought it up
thank
first.
you,
it's his.
Aki.
Well-
I appreciate your honorableness.
We'll see where it
However,
launches.
it's also
because-
only on Steam, so it's mine.
no, it's in development for everything.
Yeah.
It is in
Oh.
development for all platforms, but we don't know if Steam will launch first and then the other ones, or if they'll all launch together. And that'll come down to who gets to do what.
Going by the trailer, I'm going to assume that it's going to launch on Steam first, because that was literally the only one that they announced
Yeah.
on the trailer. Elsewhere, they said they would, like, you know, like other, like all major consoles or whatever.
Yeah.
But Steam gets first dibs.
Maybe we can get the Steam version, and then if the console
How
version
about we
comes
just talk
later,
about news? Let's not talk about who gets to review stuff on the show.
Like a year and a half
Fair.
from now.
Yeah. God willing, I won't be around anymore. But yeah, it
Tales
comes
of the
out in
Shire.
2026, and apparently they have the whole original voice casts rejoining English and Japanese.
Oh, I didn't know the Japanese voice cast was confirmed. I thought it was just the English dubbing.
Now gamers can see, play, experience, and be a part of this acclaimed TV cartoon caper shenanigans. Looks have been faithfully recreated, and the game even includes the original English and Japanese voice cast.
Oh, damn. Nice.
Right from the PR email. So there you go.
Hell yeah.
I am more excited now. Tales of the Shire has been delayed again, even though it was supposed to come out like next month, I think.
Wait, was that Cozy Hobbit game or whatever?
Yes.
Yeah, that was the
Okay.
Hobbit farming sim type game. Yeah, so that's been pushed back again. Hopefully, it comes out sometime.
It says July 29th on the message I read, so is that their current target date for the release?
We'll see. I think this is the fourth time it's been pushed back now.
Something like that, yeah.
Hopefully they get it finished by then, so you can play it. Because I know you were really excited for that, Bri.
I am. I have like weird tastes in cozy games. Like that one seems to check all my buttons, or check all my boxes, hit all the buttons. I'm gonna mix my metaphors. It's fine.
Vaguely
And my last bit of news is news that no one here but me is probably going to give a shit about. I've been
All right, so
harassing.
Aki, that's news. That's Aki's news.
Yeah,
Bree, what have you got?
I've been harassing Bandai for years to fix one of their games, and they finally fixed it.
Yay!
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah,
What game?
it was SD Gundam Battle Alliance, the little chibi Gundam game on Xbox that they made, I don't know, 4 years ago? Something like that, I think. I don't know exactly when anymore. It's been a while.
Oh, wow. So 4 years later, they fixed it?
Yeah. It's been broken for probably around 3.
2 years. 2 years.
Well, I know the problem. I noticed the problem 2 years ago.
I'm just saying when the game came out. 2 years.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they had a problem where they didn't patch the Xbox Series version of the game, but they patched all of the other versions. And they just needed to send the patches through, and it only took me 2 years of complaining for them to do it.
Yeah, because you originally played it on Game Pass, right?
No, I reviewed it. They gave us.
I thought you played it through the cloud, though.
Yeah, that was after I realized it was broken, because that was the only way I could play it. Because it was only the cloud version was the only Xbox Series version that worked. Because if you downloaded it, it didn't work because it wasn't up to date, and the save required the game to be up to date.
Yeah.
Kind of like most of them, if you play the
I remember you even
version,
asking
you go
me
backwards.
to download it and check what version number the game was, and it was the same as yours, but it was different than the one on the cloud, which you had pictures of. It was weird that it was broken that oddly.
Yeah, I contacted both Xbox and Bandai about it. More than once, we'll say. In other words, I was very incessant about it. Obviously the game was removed from Game Pass, and that completely broke the game until late last year sometime when they finally fixed it. And I just learned about it earlier this week. And now the game is installed on my Series S, and I'm waiting until I have some time away from review games because I'm going to go and play that some more because I love that game. I'm happy. I'm so excited. I called my mom. I was so excited and told her about it. Like, y'all don't understand my love for Gundam.
They fixed the game. Who is this? Stop calling me.
Basically. So yeah, and that's all my news. I'm just excited because I get to play a game I like.
All right, Bri, what have you got?
What I have left on my list. Yesterday there was a big buzz about Muse, a generative AI for Microsoft that would assist in game preservation. I really didn't dive too deep into it. Did anybody else read anything about that?
I didn't read up on it. People are saying, oh, well, it's not AI creating games. It's just recreating games that no longer have original source code. Or like, my concern is, look what happened with Grand Theft Auto when they did the AI assisted remasters, where like everything was wrong. Nothing looked right. There were jokes that were changed because like the donut place had nuts and bolts and they were just circles in the remaster. They completely removed the joke. Like, AI doesn't get humor. It has to learn humor.
AI doesn't get much.
Yeah, I don't like that they want to rely on AI to do anything. I wish they would just start up the fucking backward compatibility program again.
I mean, honestly, like, that's what, like, the initial announcement I was taking away. I was like, oh, maybe that's why they're not dealing with it, because they're like, oh, well, we'll just have AI fix it for us instead of devoting actual human hours to get crap running. Like, that's what I initially thought that they meant, and yeah.
I don't know. I'll wait and see on this. AI is not in my happy camp
list.
Yeah.
I don't understand why so many companies are still pushing for AI when it's already been announced that you can't copyright or anything AI created stuff anymore at all. So I don't understand why every company is like, yes, let's do AI art.
Because they're not going to copyright
make video games out of AI.
Because they're not going to copyright it. The thing is that everything is now moving towards some sort of a service that you have to pay for, whether it's a live service game or whether it's a gaming platform or whether it's... Yeah, but
if you can't own something that was created by AI or prompted stuff, then you also, when people decide to sail the high seas, for lack of a better word, you can't really get them in trouble anymore because you don't own it because it was made by AI. That's why I don't get it.
I don't know that that's exactly
That's why it's so confusing, because if you can't own it, then why would you want to make a video game using only it? Because then you don't own it, and
because by the time that they get legislation, legislation to finally actually figure this kind of stuff out, the whole point of it is to make sure that humans aren't, like, you don't have to employ people anymore, and so it's just going to be a skeleton crew at that point.
I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, like.
I hate AI.
It's all just, we don't know what's going to happen. We could think what we want, but until things happen, we don't know what the future holds. Hopefully it's not shitty. Things look really shitty lately, but hopefully this won't be shitty.
I got bad news. It's gonna be
God damn
shitty.
I'm trying to be optimistic about this, but yeah, I'm not a fan of AI. But what
Yay,
other news?
optimism. That was the end of my news.
Just Muse.
Yep, that was it. That's all I had left.
Okay, what's in Dreamlight? It's been a while. I know there's bound to be Dreamlight Valley.
Yes, there
news.
is actually Disney Dreamlight Valley news. So next week, on the 26th, we get Aladdin and Jasmine are dropping in. They are a free add-on to the game. Along with this, we're also going to get extra floating islands that you could buy, so you could toss more of your buildings and like people who you don't want in your town. You can toss them up there, which I'm just like, this is kind of creating slums, but okay.
It's a great place for Aladdin, apparently. That's where he's always lived. There you go. That's
No. Well,
better
Aladdin's got his own place because he's got his own realm that's going to open up in the main building. But the other thing is that there is a new star path
up there.
There's going to be a new star path that's unlocking, and it's supposed to be like island vacation themed kind of thing. And I don't know.
Bathing suits.
Yes, but no. Like, it doesn't seem like bathing suits. It seems like summer attire kind of stuff, which, I mean, I know people are going to be like, well, that's bathing suits. Like, no, like, I mean, like shorts and stuff. Well, swim shorts. Shut up. Like,
I was hoping Beast would be in a thong. That would have been just the best.
No, we're just going to have to stick for Rule 34 for that. But, yeah, I'm not going to lie. I'm not that jazzed about what I've seen so far with the new Star Path. Like, the only animal companion that you can pick up with that is this capybara that is wrapped up in, like, a towel, like, as if they're at a spa, and they're balancing a pineapple on their head. It's just whatever. I mean,
I don't understand. They could have had a Pooh. Pooh, was that his name? Is that was
Winnie
the
Pooh?
No, the little monkey for Aladdin.
Boo.
Oh, okay. Him or the bird.
See, I think we're going to be getting him somewhere else, because I mean, they already introduced monkeys with oh god, what was that first DLC pack, whatever the crap it was called.
No one knows but you.
Yeah, you'd be the only one who would know that.
Yeah, I know, and I've got a bad feeling it's
check your diary.
Called something like, I think it's called like the Forgotten Isle or something like that, and I'm just like, of course I'd forget what the hell it's called. Anyway,
how long has this game been out?
Like 2 or 3 years.
I'm amazed they're just now adding Aladdin stuff to it. That's crazy.
Well, I mean, on one hand, they're milking it, but, you know, like, I think also there's something to be said for the fact that they're not rushing content for it.
They're not shoving everything out at once.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely keeps you involved, and I'm not going to lie, the schedule is pretty nice for me. Like, it allows me to take breaks from the game without, like, that fear of missing out on anything, because then I can just hop back in, like, 2 or 3 weeks later, and I'm ready to start playing again. I actually haven't touched it probably in 3 weeks, I think. I only hop in now just to see what's in the store every week, just to see if there's crap that I missed from last time, like it was available. So, but yeah, so new stuff's coming, and that's cool.
Yay!
Yay!
Nice. Oh wait,
all right.
We have a button
Sonic
for
Movie
that.
Watch news.
Yay!
Is it Sonic Movie Watch news now?
No. That's later. I mean, I wasn't even going to talk about Disney Dreamlight until, like, later on in the thing, but you forced my hand on that, so.
You big old dumb idiot.
That's fair.
I like that.
So Valve has released the full Team Fortress 2 game code. pretty much they're just like, yeah, go on, make whatever you want. So
Nice.
that's pretty cool. So people who are big into modding, and also people who want to fix all the bugs that Valve is just never going to get around to, there you go. There is talk that Pokemon Go developer Niantic, however supposedly they're going to sell off their video game business side to the Saudi-owned company behind Stumble Guys and Monopoly Go.
Oh, geez.
Which currently has Pokemon Go players in a huge panic because the other company, whatever the heck, Scopely is their name. Pokemon Go fans are people who have played other Scopely games are just like, yeah, once they take over, like they monetize the hell out of everything, like to the point where you can't do anything without paying a bunch of stuff. Like Marvel Strike Team, apparently once they took it over, you weren't going to be able to do anything unless you were spending like $500 a month. Like you would not be able to actually compete against like heavy hitters. So
I can't talk to that, but Stumble Guys isn't too predatory. Like they have really expensive things you could get in there, but they're just cosmetic for the most part. There are abilities you can get. They're not really game breaking, but you can get them through just the normal free passes that they have, or through the wheel spins that they offer. Like you don't need to spend money in Stumble Guys to have fun or get anywhere in it. I've won plenty of games. I got tons of achievements without spending a penny.
I haven't played it, so I can't speak on that.
It's Fall Guys, but cheap knockoff.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it looked like.
Yeah. And they need more songs. There's like 2.
Ooh.
Limited Run Games is in trouble with their Rugrats Adventures in Gameland. And also P.O. Pow. The NES cartridges that they're coming with can actually damage your NES console. And so, yeah, and
the
they're blaming
voltage in the cartridges is wrong.
So from what I had read, it's like the voltage on the cartridge is like 2.5 or something, and the NES is like 5 volts or something like that, and it screws it up somehow. Or maybe it's reversed. But pretty much it's just like it won't initially screw up your cartridge or hardware, but in due time, it's like a ticking time bomb. And so Limited Run Games is now working with their they're going to work with their customers. You can't purchase it right now, and they're going to remanufacture all the carts with a different supplier. So
that sucks.
So if you bought it and you have it, don't pop it in your NES.
Yeah.
Until you get the replacement. They are going to be shipping out replacements automatically that I saw.
Yeah.
All right, what else you got?
Did we talk about 1010 Games last week? I don't know if we did.
No.
I don't think we did. Okay, yeah. So 1010 Games has laid off at least 20 people due to the failure of Funko Fusion.
I didn't know
hear
that
about
failed.
that one.
How big is their group? Because 20 doesn't sound like very many, but if their group's only like 30 people, that's a lot. I don't know how big they are.
I don't know.
Hopefully that wasn't very many of them and they're still going strong then.
I don't see anything that says how many people they have.
Okay.
But GameStop is trying to sell off its French and Canadian outlets.
Oh, yeah, I saw something about that.
While the CEO is yelling about wokeness and DEI. Because, nothing says like, hell yeah, we want to buy like parts of your failing company, like losing your shit on Twitter.
Yeah.
So, woo!
Yay. Everything has to be straight white males or nothing, right? Fuck diversity.
But also GameStop has started to wrap up its retail operations in Germany.
Yeah, good riddance if they go away. I haven't been in a GameStop in months. Last time I've been in one, there was nothing worthwhile.
I haven't been to one in over a decade at this point. Last time I was in one, I was in fucking high school, and I graduated in 2013 from college, so...
I went there to buy my Series S because that was the best deal and guarantee that I could get the new one in advance, like on the date that I needed it, because they could order it, which is, there's not a lot of options near me. My only other option was Walmart. Yeah, Amazon would have gotten it to me the day after I needed it.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, I looked, trust me. So, yeah, that was the only reason I went with GameStop.
Fair.
All right.
I tried auto-renewing my membership last year, and I was pissed. I canceled it, and they still charged it.
Mm-hmm.
Fuckers. Okay, Jacob, go ahead.
Last bit of news I have. Street Fighter movie watch. I don't have any Sonic.
It's movie watch. There.
Jacked and vascular and young and tan.
Anyway. So I don't have any Sonic movie news this week, which is fine. But Street Fighter, Legendary Studios, and Capcom are co-developing a new adaptation. And I'm going to bastardize the guy's name. Kaitao Sakurai is going to be the director. He did a lot of writing, directing, and producing on the Eric Andre show. So that's curious. But yeah, this is going to be the latest attempt to get one made. And yeah, I think one of my favorite parts of this, of the announcement, was that Hollywood Reporter, which had the exclusive on it. They talked about the 1994 movie with Jean-Claude Van Damme. They completely failed to mention the 2008 Street Fighter Legend of Chun-Li movie with Chris Klein. So, I don't know. I thought that was amusing. Anyway, that's all I got.
I think that's the better out of all live-action ones, honestly.
So no Sonic news, huh?
No, I told you I don't have any. That's disappointing.
I liked that.
No, I mean...
Yes, there we go. I don't like that one. I don't like that one at all. As someone who grew up playing a whole bunch of Sonic, I do not like the underwater drowning noise at all. That is traumatic.
It's so quiet, but if you hear it...
Wah, 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 wah.
That's just as bad as when it's starting to count down to that. Oh god, that is so panic-inducing even now as an adult.
All right, well, that's new. Should we move on to reviews? It's been like over an hour of news.
Sure.
Yeah,
Pernell, what do you think?
Fucking yeah!
All right, let's do this. First game to talk about tonight is Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, key provided by Deep Silver for the purpose of this coverage. Developed by Warhorse Studios, published by Deep Silver, released February 4th on Series X and S and PS5 for $69.99, PC for $59.99. A thrilling, story-driven action RPG with a rich open world set in 15th century medieval Europe. Experience the ultimate medieval adventure through the eyes of young Henry as you embark on a journey of epic proportions. Bri, tell us what is going down in Kingdom Come Deliverance 2.
Well, first, finally a game where my medieval nerdery comes in handy for a review. I'll try to stick to the game, though, I promise. Just got this little bit to get out of the way. But really, if you're looking for medieval historic fun, this is a great way to go about it. There's so many details that are historically accurate about the game, as opposed to fantasy elements I normally see in a game like this. And I don't just mean elves and wizards for fantasy. I mean people taking liberty with armor types and fighting styles or clothing that just don't match the time period or the location that they've chosen. And I love a good medieval fantasy, but those anachronisms really stand out and remove me from the immersion. Even some of the pottery was really right. I could pick some things apart, like a rope bed that just appeared to have a pile of straw on it, which is totally not how those beds work. But anyway, off that soapbox. Oh yeah, I'm totally not here. Reroll. No, don't reroll. All right. I never played the first game, and that's okay. You can just pick up and play right from here. Or if you're concerned about the first game, it's on a really deep discount on Xbox this week. Just throwing that out there. This is a very detailed game with a lot of systems, and I will try and touch on the basics of because it's a lot. The story follows Henry from his humble beginnings to a life of getting medieval on people because betrayal and revenge. And I'll be honest, the hook sounds terribly cliche, but the execution and storytelling makes this actually good. It's an action RPG, so the game really gets right into the action, and then bam, there's some hard-hitting story for you. Part of the bigger story is told in flashbacks through Henry's nightmares, or while he's delirious trying to escape from some bandits after taking an arrow to the shoulder and falling from a great height. He's suffering from some PTSD about an attack on his village that took the life of his parents and just about everybody he knew, and his dad's masterwork sword was taken by the warlord who attacked the town, and we're going to get, that back and kill him with it eventually. Henry and his liege, Sir Hans, are in a bit of dire straits after a rough start to their journey. They're on their way as emissaries with an important mission, an important message to help one side of a sort of civil war. There's two factions that believe their noble is fighting for the rightful king. It's tense, and to make matters worse, there are cutthroat bandits roaming around the area near the castle that we're on our way to. And then our team is wiped out, and we barely survive, only to find some help in the forest from a healer who happens to live there. But now we've lost our sealed, signed message for the castle. We've lost our dog, all our resources. We're now wearing some ratty clothing. No one at the castle will take us seriously, and the only person who could vouch for us that wasn't wiped out by the bandits is delirious after the attack. We get actual shit thrown at us, and then we're going to have to work for our food. Poor Sir Hans may have to get his hands dirty to get back on top. But will he be a help, or will he be a complete dick and leave us to our own devices? He's a complete dick. Spoiler. The dialogue is really well written. It's witty and often comedic. Sometimes Hans is a bit of a handful to manage. He runs his mouth and thinks too highly of himself as a noble. The voice acting is very well done, except for the occasional actor who obviously has never seen the word apothecary before.
What do they say?
I don't remember, but it was very awkward and it was irritating. Anyway, the opening cinematic and intro fighting is chaos in the best way possible. The actual tutorial or intro to the game is a couple hours long to get to the title screen cinematic with the opening credits, which is gorgeous, by the way. Some of the systems, just some of the many things that you're going to see in this game. At the beginning, you get to choose play styles. You can be a soldier, which is all, attack. You can be an advisor, rely on your wit. You can be a scout and rely on stealth. We know I didn't go with stealth because I'm terrible at that. I went with advisor. Just, I think people thought I was going to go with soldier, but I went with advisor because I don't always need to attack, but I want the option to attack after my wits fail me. So some good play styles to start out with, and it builds your stats off of that to start with. Persuasion has multiple options when you're dealing with, the advisor path, like dread versus coercion versus speech and charisma. You get some base stats based on your choices. Dialogue choices. You have a lot of different options and conversations that'll just adjust your reputation with people. During active conversations, you have a limited amount of time to make choices, or the game will make one for you, likely the one you've been hovering on, so you have to be mindful of that. Sometimes you'll get a skill check option in the conversation trees, and if you succeed, you get some more points in something like speech. Sometimes your choices give you experience in certain stats like vitality. There's a cool storytelling section in the game that helps you build out your character stats in the beginning, like you are retelling this story of these things that happen, and based on what you choose, it gives you like extra dexterity, or it has different words for different things, but like as a pointer, it would give you extra strength or something based on how you chose the story, and you create this back and forth story. It's very cool. It has a level of realistic detail, like putting on your padding under your armor properly. For example, you have to wear a coif or a hood under your helmet to cushion the blows, or you're going to take damage to the head while wearing your armor, and that's pretty awesome. You can also create 3 outfits that you can quick switch between to make it easier to look like a noble, or be ready for different types of battle. And also, people will not take you seriously or talk to you if you're naked, by the way. So don't do that. It's just not a good idea.
Okay.
And the level of NPC interaction where
I want to hear more about that. Hold on. I want to hear more about that.
No, it's like so there's a scene where you get thrown in the stocks and they take off all your clothes except for like your skivvies. And I didn't realize that I had to like re-equip all of my stuff. I thought they'd just taken it from me. And so I'm walking around town trying to get help and figure out what to do next. And they're like, "Go away, strange man." Like they just wouldn't talk to me. Like I got the constable called on me because I walked into a shop and he was like, "You are indecent, sir." Just like they're giving me the sign of the cross to like back away. They're like, "What is wrong with you?" So, yeah, don't walk around, naked or mostly naked. They will not deal with you. Some other cool things in the game. There's a dice game. You can gamble to pass the time or to make some money. I had a hard time understanding how the game worked, but you get certain points for saving matching die, or dice, and you try to get a higher score than your opponent. Pretty simple, but I was terrible at it. There's always going to be some sort of like gambling game, I think, and stuff like this. That's like a given. Horror was telling me when I was doing it on stream, the game of 5,000. It's kind of similar to that. You have alchemy. This again, I'm just touching on like a little bit of a lot of things. You have the ability to make potions.
Yeah, I know it's a huge.
It is a huge game with so many things.
How many hours have you put into it so far?
Not nearly enough. I could probably put 200 hours in this game and I might not find the end of all the things. I think there are some people who have completed the game at under 100 hours, but I think I talk about that in a later part of my notes, where it's like there are some conflicting choices or something. Like if you're not planning properly with the achievements, you may end up having to play it twice to get them all. That would be my guess. Like if you're not planning carefully, like I missed out on an achievement like right at the beginning of the game because I thought I was okay with the combat tutorials. And I was not. I got into that first fight and I lost it fast. But back to alchemy. You have the ability to make potions. You can do it from scratch. So you need to follow recipes that you learn. You collect ingredients. You grind them in a mortar and pestle. You cook them over a fire, and then you need to tend that fire with some bellows. And then you decant the potion into a bottle. It's not too complicated, but it is tactile and immersive as opposed to something like, say, Skyrim's alchemy system. Your herbs, like your food, degenerate over time unless properly preserved, like dried properly. So pretty detailed system. Saving can be done at beds or using the save and quit option. You can save using your Savior Schnapps, which I think is something you can eventually brew yourself. The game also auto-saves after important moments. And you can skip time and wait until day or night or sleep until day or whatever, like it has a day-night cycle. You have a dog in the beginning of the game. You have to actually go back and find him later to get access to him again. It took me way too long to figure out how to fucking feed him. But I eventually got some help from chat. But yeah, you got to feed your dog. You can have the dog track things. You can tell him to sit and stay and follow. He can help in combat, but first you have to find him again, like I said. Let's talk about combat. because it's an action RPG. You've got you can guard in 5 directions, and by guard I mean you have different sword positions. So if you know anything about sword fighting, and it's okay if you don't, you have like you can hold your sword up to the side on the right and then on the left, and then you can hold it above your head, and you have low guards that you can guard and attack from. So there's 5 different directions. You press on the right stick. There's a lot of blocking and counterattacking. Tutorial did not prepare me to win that first training battle, like I said. It is not really hack and slash kind of a game. You have to get good at the combat.
Yeah, I have a question about that.
Yes.
I heard from the first game, combat is really deadly and really hard. How extremely difficult is combat in this one? Is it not that bad, or is it actually really hard?
It's pretty hard. I have not been like super successful at going out on my own, but again, I chose to have my character's approach to not necessarily go straight into combat. I will try and, diffuse a situation. Unfortunately, I failed at diffusing a situation that I think was, destined to happen regardless. And so ended up getting into a fist fight with way too many people at a bar. And that's how I ended up in the stocks. The fist fight was very similar, except you only had like 3 positions you could kind of choose from. It gets easier the more you get to practice, but it's not easy.
Okay.
Stealth is also an approach you can take, which was introduced in a scene with a woman hunting quest while we're in our underwear in the water.
I'm not liking the sound of this already, but okay.
Not hunting them for sport or like to kill them, but like to sneak up and like gawk at them because they were down by the water. And we just happened to be like trying to bathe in our underwear, and then we start stalking the women. It was actually really comedic. Okay. But during that, bandits attack our camp. We learned about wanted status. So you have a hare or rabbit indicator that people are searching for you. There's various levels to the search, from recognition to confrontation, which is just basically to say that there's a visual indicator for situations where you're trying to use stealth, or people are looking for you if you're trying to like dodge the police, or some bandits that are trying to hunt you down or something. There's different indicators. Same thing for going into stores. You can like walk into an area, like you can walk almost anywhere in this game, but like walking into people's stores and homes is sometimes going to get you yelled at for trespassing. So
Question.
Yes.
I'm just going to have a lot of questions. Sorry. We're talking about stealth here. Can you stealth kill people or knock them out or anything like that?
You can I haven't encountered like too many opportunities for that personally because I'm not really running stealth. But like if you're stealthy and you come up on someone, I mean, yes, you can knock them over the head, I believe, and like that's going to make it a lot easier for you than having to like combat, but I haven't really tried that.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay, I'm happy.
All right, so there's some other interesting parts to the game, like if you don't bathe, you get really stinky, and that could alert enemies to your whereabouts. I mentioned that with the stealths, but also keeping your hygiene is important for your charisma. And I mentioned earlier, like being naked, people didn't want to deal with me. They will also totally rail on you for smelling like shit. And you will have to find a way to bathe yourself at least like moderately before people will interact with you. If you're trying to, play the noble path and you're trying to present yourself as a messenger, to this lord of the castle, like you better look your best and not smell like shit.
Good advice.
Yeah. There's a notoriety system that will cause people to remember if you kill someone in front of everyone and then just like leave the body. There's an extension of that system that crimes stack up if you get caught committing too much in like one area. So that, let's see. The devs use motion capture and 3D facial scanners to get things right, and there's that is obvious to me. Like I thought they did a really great job with the voice work and the motion of the faces. There's not like too much delay. They look like they're saying the right thing. It's not just a bunch of like babble. There's a whole studio orchestra behind the soundtrack, which is pretty awesome, by the way. Talking about accessibility features, there are multiple options like turning off, you can have subtitle options for in-game chatter from the NPCs around you. If you have issues like hearing things, that's a really handy thing to have because the NPCs are interesting. They're not just like, boy, sweeping sure is tough, and that's all they say. They actually like react to the things around, and like I said, you know, when you're naked or whatever, they're like, wow, you should really tend to that, sir. And then they'll say something,
nice
you know, different
dick.
next time you walk by. Yeah, pretty much. You can have speaker names on and off. You have an option for contrasting subtitles. You can adjust the motion blur. You can invert axes.
Yay!
Field of
Team
view,
invert.
Field of view, yes. Field of view starts off at 95, and you can adjust it wider from there. Speaking of views, wow. The draw distance is also really far. It's a gorgeous game. Random note: the beginning of the game, you have a terrible fall, and then you end up losing your main levels after a severe injury and have to work your way back up. And I thought that was a really neat mechanic to go like, hey, we're going to give you some like intro to the game and how things work and have some levels to begin with. But you're going to have this after this terrible fall, you know, you have to like start over at level 1 basically. And I thought that was pretty cool.
It's always fun to see how games address that.
Yeah.
Especially in like direct sequels. It's like, well, weren't you like all powerful 20 minutes ago? I took a nap, forgot everything.
Yeah. The game is huge. It's bigger than the first game, and there's a ton to do. And I'm basing that it's bigger than the first game on other people's reviews and commentary. Like I said, I haven't played the first one, but I've been told that it's bigger. Like I said, all told, this could be like a 200-hour game for someone like me. During the intro section of the game, the first few hours, I felt like I was really led around well, navigated things okay. Then the story sort of dumps you off the cart and bids you good luck as it drives away. I struggled for a bit to navigate using the map and figure out how to find work and find my dog and, you know, put my clothes on and all that stuff. Thankfully, if you're paying attention, there are NPCs around to help you. I found like this beggar who is looking for alms, and, you know, she helps you out. But you have to actually talk to her and ask for her help and not walk away like an idiot like I did. And then, you know, she tells you where you can find better clothes or, you know, things like that. But yeah, you've got to work your way up. There's like, I don't want to give away too much of the story. But you know, there's just lots of things going on. You've got quests to lead, you know, side quests to lead you to bigger quests, and you've got to, you know, find your way back to your goals. You've got to find your revenge on the guy who took care of, you know, who took out your camp, the guy who took out your town originally. I think I already talked about the achievement. Let's see.
Well, here's a question, because of how big the game is. Are you confident giving it a review at this time, or would you rather take another 2 weeks? Because I know this is like a 100+ hour game.
This. I mean, I would love to come back in 2 weeks and tell you more. Cool. Let's talk about that. My last note on here before, you know, I was going to say a verdict, but I mean, I can give my initial verdict. We could give like a temporary
verdict and then a final assessment in 2 more weeks.
Do that.
Because this is this game is huge. The first game was a 100-hour game. This one is like a 200-hour game. They just cram so much into these games. It is jaw-dropping. I can't wait to see how good this is in action. I've heard you just talk so highly about it over the past 2 or so weeks you've had it. Is it 3 weeks you've had it?
It's been like 2 weeks, yeah.
Well, it's I gotta stop playing Avowed and fire this one up.
Every time they use the word pizzle, I giggle. If you guys don't know what a pizzle is, it's the medieval word for penis. So they use that like pretty often, and it's just a good giggle every time.
Can you repeat that? A what?
A pizzle? Pizzle is yes. If you have an animal in heraldry that has a penis on it, it is called a pizzled animal.
I love that. Okay.
So now you guys know. I actually a couple weeks ago I was out with a friend and saw someone's customized license plate on their fancy ass car that said Pizzle, and it had like and you know, I was already thinking just from the car that they were a dick, but here they are just advertising it. And then it said something on like the little frame, you can get like, a frame around your license plate, and it said, you know, bought with daddy's money, I'm daddy. And I was just like, wow, this guy's a piece of work.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow. But hey, he knew the medieval word for penis. So
maybe that's just his nickname.
Yeah, maybe.
He has no idea what it means.
He was parked
Pizzle,
like
I like that. What's up, guys? Hey,
yeah.
Pizzle.
No, I'm pretty sure he knew what it meant. And like otherwise, how would you get but like obviously the people at the DMV did not, because like I wouldn't have let that through. I know what that word means.
I totally would have let it through, even if I knew what it means. That would have been fucking hilarious, and it is.
Oh. But yeah, verdict time. Like, I'll give you my first impressions.
First impressions, it's a $70 game on console, $60 on PC. You're playing it on Xbox, so we'll ask, is this worth $70 right now?
I mean, absolutely yes. So like, even though I struggled with the combat and navigation like some kind of noob, I loved this game. I'm looking forward to all 100+ hours it's going to take me to get through the story and all the content. The level of detail in the game and its attempt at realism is phenomenal. I love the more historic aspects of the game as opposed to the fantasy, and I think the price is right for the content and quality of the game. I would actually recommend getting the gold edition because it's going to save you money on the extra content that's coming eventually. And they're staying on top of patches. There was already a hotfix this morning with platform-specific stability improvements, resolving crashes, enhancing quest progression. Like, they're staying on top of this and they're supporting their work. I'm pretty happy with this so far.
Very cool. And you did mention the gold edition. It is $20 more for the gold edition. It includes the season pass, which is $30, so you're saving $10 right there. And the expansion pass comes with 3 upcoming expansions, along with the bonus unlockable content, Shields of Seasons Passing, available now, which is just, I believe, different shield designs you can equip.
Yeah.
All right. So
yeah, we'll talk more about this in a couple weeks. I'll get further into it, and we'll give a final verdict. Yeah.
Cool.
Sounds good.
All right, next up, Tomb Raider 4, 5, and 6 Remastered, developed by Aspyr and Crystal Dynamics, I can't talk, published by Aspyr, released February 13th on Xbox One, Series X and S, Switch, PS4, PS5, and PC for $29.99. Our legacy lives on. Play the next series of Tomb Raider adventures in this remastered collection of the Darkness trilogy. Aki, these weren't the best Tomb Raider games. A lot of people are wondering why they remade this package. How is it?
Honestly, I don't mind them too much. I never played the original Tomb Raider games when they first came out. I wasn't much of a gamer back then. When I became a gamer during the PS2 era, and Tomb Raider started before then, I didn't really care about it. So my first real Tomb Raider game was the reboots that happened on like the 360 or Xbox One, whatever the hell it was. So I don't have nostalgia or hatred for any of these. So I thought
fresh eyes coming in.
Yeah, very much so. I think I played maybe some of the very first one. Maybe I just remember her being in a snowy shithole shooting wolves, and that's it. That's all I remember. So yeah, brand new.
Well, this is 3 games. It's The Last Revelation, Tomb Raider Chronicles, and Tomb Raider Angel of Darkness. Did you get to dabble with each of the games, or did you just want to talk about the package as a whole?
I played a little bit with all three. I didn't do a ton in any one of them because I wanted to make sure I actually got a chance to play all three of them. Yeah. I played, there's an extra little mini campaign, I guess we'll call it, an episode, something like that, for the Tomb Raider 4. And I played through that in completion because it was much shorter. It was about a level-ish long, I assume. And it allowed me to get familiar with the controls and stuff. And I played it with both tank and standard control, and modern controls. Modern controls are the way to go. Tank controls, what's the word?
Suck.
They blow ass. So yeah, it can be a little finicky on things because you can look and see how all of the controls are mapped, but only the shortcuts. I don't remember actually being able to see the standard button pushes. But even once you know them all, the game is very finicky about stuff that it wants you to do. For instance, it wanted me to jump up and grab something and hold on to it. But the only way I really knew how to grab onto stuff was to extend my arms to grab onto ledges and stuff. So I sat there for like 10 minutes trying to figure out how to pull this thing down because the game wasn't telling me how. Finally figured it out, and then I had to spend like another 5 minutes trying to actually jump into the hole to be able to grab onto the side. Because you have to hit it right on. Otherwise, you're just going to fall back down. Which is kind of irritating. That's how the games were made way back then, and no matter what control system you're using, that is still very much how the game plays. So it's kind of irritating when you're trying to grab onto things because you have to either jump directly under exactly where you need to be, which is a pain in the ass, or you have to jump forward and grab it, and you don't have a lot of control because this is an older game. This requires precision, but it's not made for precision at all. So it's a very awkward way of playing. And this is true for all three of these games. I think the modern controls on at least Tomb Raider 4 and 5 are definitely the way to go. They work really well. They do what they're supposed to do. And they function much better, in my opinion, than the tank controls. Tomb Raider 6, I think the best controls are not to play it, honestly. It has a lot of stuff added to it that I really like in a game, but it also doesn't work right. For instance, in Tomb Raider 6, you're able to walk around and knock out people and stuff, so there's stealth mechanics and stuff to it, and I really like it. It was really fun. And then there's also the hanging off, you can drop down onto ledges. Instead of just jumping up, you can also go down, which is in basically all of the games, as far as I remember. It doesn't work right in 6. You actually have to walk off and then turn around and grab onto it quickly enough, because for some reason it doesn't just let you jump down onto the ledge like you're supposed to in the game, which is infuriating because that was necessary for part of the levels, and you're supposed to just be able to walk up to it and push the action button, and she's supposed to just climb down onto the ledge so you can shimmy. It won't let you do that, and I don't know why. Tank controls for that, if you're going to play 6, you basically need to play with tank controls because half the stuff doesn't work in the modern controls. For instance, if you want to jump over a railing or climb into a window or climb onto a box, you have to be against it and you have to push forward. That only works when you're facing towards something with the camera behind you and you're pushing up on the D-pad. doesn't work with the thumbstick, which is the whole point of playing modern controls.
Yeah.
So you might as well just play tank controls with that one.
The funny thing really is, I'm reading some of the Steam reviews, and everyone is saying 4 and 5 are pretty good. Like 4 is mostly good. 5 is good when it's not priced at $50 by itself. And then someone is just like 6 is still garbage and unfixable because half the game was never made.
Yeah, the game is not
still unfinished.
This is just I'm like talking the first like 2 levels here. I think there are 2 levels. I don't like 6 at all. From what I've played already. 1, because I kept dying over and over and over because I couldn't, drop down onto a ledge. I had to basically throw myself off the damn thing, turn around and catch it. And that's not easy to do in this game. And also, in the very next section after the tutorial area, more or less, there's an escape sequence with enemies chasing you and smoke filling up an area. And if they get close to you, you automatically fail. I jumped over a gap in stairs to get to the floor above me. I walked a few feet and I was somehow captured. None of the rest of the enemies could make that jump. They were still on the floor underneath me where they could not get me. I still had to replay the game. And I tried going through that section like 3 or 4 times before I said, I have better things to do with my time than constantly replaying it, because you can't save until after that section's done.
Yeah.
So, yay, cutscene, and then getting caught, then cutscene, and getting caught, and then cutscene, and getting caught. I'm not angry or upset at all. No.
Let's talk about the package. How are the enhanced visuals? Because I know you could play either between the original visuals or swap to the remastered graphics. How do they look?
The remastered graphics do look a lot better. However, there are some issues with them. Often they tend to be significantly darker. So if you're in shadows, it is pitch fucking black, and you will want it. Thankfully, switching between them is just pushing the start button. That's it. And it flips even while you're playing. It's really nice. You will be flipping between them so you can see things. I like the newer graphics more most of the time. And it's really noticeable, especially in 5 and in 6. And 4, not at quite as much. The model for Laura herself looks better, obviously, in the newer ones, but the backgrounds in 4, it's sandy assholes no matter what, so it doesn't really matter. But it gets like super, super dark in some sections to where you really can't see what's going on, and then you flip it to the old graphics and you can see. So
yay.
Yeah, so you'll want to switch between them just so you can see things, but the graphics, I think they look pretty good in the remastered stuff. Any other questions? Because I don't even know what else to talk about here.
Yeah, I guess the only question is left is it's $30. It comes out to $10 a game, 15 per game if you only count the first 2 and consider the 6th one a freebie. What do you think of $30 on the package?
I think the first 2 games for $15 is pretty good. It's a shame that you're forced to take the 6th game, but hey, whatever. If you like the old Tomb Raider games, then this is totally for you. If you didn't really care about the Tomb Raider games, I don't think this is going to really improve your opinion of it. So if you're like, I don't really care about the old Tomb Raider games, then just play the new ones. They are better because they're more current. So if you want the old ones, definitely buy these. If you don't care about the old ones, you can go ahead and pass.
Cool. All right, next game, Mutant Football League 2, developed and published by Digital Dreams Entertainment, released January 30th on Xbox Game Preview for $24.99. Mutant Football League 2 is an over-the-top arcade-style football game packed with thrills, strategy, and unrelenting action. Created by the original designer of Mutant Football League and Mutant League Hockey, Mutant Football League 2 takes brutal gridiron battles to the next level, delivering deep strategic 8-on-8 gameplay, bone-crunching hits, and outrageous mutant parody. Your favorite players. Jacob, what is Mutant Football League 2?
So Mutant Football League, which at first I thought this was going to be based on that Warhammer thing, but I think that's Blood Bowl. I'm not sure. Okay. Anyways, so I got that wrong. And this is more like an arcadey parody of everything in Madden. And I'm not going to lie, it's pretty fun. So what it is, well, I mean, like, you've got a team of mutants, and you can decide where, what football team they're going to be, and everything is kind of like a parody of modern NFL teams. So it's like you had, what did they call the Pittsburgh? They had one that was a parody of the Pittsburgh Steelers, and it's the Steelheads. And they even go so far as to like giving parody names for like all of the different players. Like
I see San Francisco 40 Nightmares and the Carcass City Creeps.
Yeah, and I know that there was also one for that was making fun of the Bengals, and there's also like the shit. I wish I had like the list of all the different names, but it's pretty fun, especially like because somebody had to take the time to design all of these things, all of the different players, and come up with parodies of all their names. And how they get away with this, I don't know, but it's fun. So, as I said, it's like an arcadey version of Madden, so it's going to be closer to like NFL Blitz. For those of you who are familiar with that game from back in the day. And it's just, you're trying to play football with this team of like undead I was going to say undead rejects. And it's just, and it's pretty wild because there are like different, there's different team, like players, like what they look like. Some of them look like zombies. Some of these like big beefy guys, like other guys have like stuff armed on them. Like, you could have like a buzzsaw attached to your arm and like, you're just running down the field and like, you just sawed off the other dude's leg, preventing them from running into you. And that is while you're dodging crap on the field. Like there are points where like the field is like splitting open, or like there are these like not molten lava, but like well, I mean actually, yeah, there was lava, but there was like radioactive ooze that just like shoots up, and like so, or I mean, sometimes it's shooting up. Other times you have to dodge it. Like it'll be like a crater just full of ooze, and you have to like run, jump, get over it, and try to score a touchdown. And that's and that's just normal gameplay. Like there's also like special things that you could do. You could pay off the refs if you want to. Like there's stuff like that. You can actually kill members of the opposing team. Like this is wild. I mean, yeah, I guess it's kind of like just, oh, well, like McNabb's injured. Like, oh, you got carted off the field. This time they are permanently carted off the field. Like, and yeah. And so if you're used to playing like normal Madden, or as I said, like I keep making comparisons to NFL Blitz on this. I
would imagine the comparison should be closer to Blitz the League, the M-rated ones.
I never got around to playing that, so I'm not familiar with those.
Nothing like tackling someone and their balls explode. Yeah, testicular eruption, good stuff.
I'm already loving this game just because of that.
Well, that's Blitz the League. I don't know if that's in Mutant Football League.
I didn't have anybody's nuts explode, but I wouldn't be surprised if you could do that. But yeah, like it's controls are not as tight as what you'd expect from something like Madden, but like it's easy to pick up and play. If you already play other football games, you know what you're getting into, and you get to decide like what kind of plays you're going to do, whether like offensive and defensive. You can bring in special teams if you need to, but yeah, like this is a pretty wild game and it's a lot of fun. So if like you're having Madden fatigue and you want something that's absolutely ridiculous and bring back that arcade feel, Mutant Football League is pretty wild. Like I'm having fun with it. This is going to stay on my Xbox for a bit.
Cool.
It is in game preview, so no achievements were launching for me. So I don't know if
probably just not in the game yet.
Yeah, I don't know if they're there yet. But
it's not listed on the Xbox store page, so I'm sure they're just not there yet. But they will come in the future, presumably closer to release.
When does it release?
I don't know. It's just game preview right now.
Oh my goodness! I almost never do. I almost never do previews. That's exciting. But yeah, like in its current state, I'm having a ton of fun. Like, so I recommend picking this up.
Cool. Well, it was $24.99 on game preview. The price will likely increase as it launches, but for $25, what do you think?
For $25, get it now. Definitely. Cool. Yeah, I'm having a lot of fun. I think you guys will too.
All right, sounds good. Next game, Cabernet, developed by Party for Introverts, published by Akupara Games. Released February 20th on Xbox One, Series X and S, Switch, PS4, PS5, and PC for $19.99. Cabernet is a 2D narrative RPG set in a 19th century Eastern European-inspired world with a modern twist. Guide Liza, a young vampire in her new unlife, among the unsuspecting townsfolk. Will you retain your humanity or descend further into the horror you've become? Jacob, you're the horror in this, but Bri, we're going to start off with you. What is Cabernet?
Well, first thing I would mention is it comes with a warning that the game deals with heavy subjects such as alcoholism, social conflict, death, and suicide, so use your best judgment as to whether or not this game is right for you. The story takes place in a fictional Eastern European town. Lisa, short for Elisabetta, dies.
Liza, my bad.
Yeah, I did too.
When I read Lisa too, I'm like, nah, that's not.
It's Lisa, Elisabetta.
Bitch.
Yeah, I know. She dies in the late 1800s. She's reborn as a vampire. We get to choose a path for her that is woven in as part of the story. I chose writer, and that ups the stats in literature and writing. It's a clever way to do it. Kind of similar to actually the storytelling system that they used in Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. This is a personalized to this scenario, though. We go through some other choices like that until we've rounded out the starting character. Once you finish the prologue, you get to move around and gain access to the internal menu with your character sheet, your quest log, calendar, glossary, inventory, etc. You also have a relationship chart. Your actions influence the ratings of relationships. Something as simple as not introducing yourself properly could reduce your standing with an important character, like the Countess. You may not be able to talk to certain characters until you've learned enough skill in a certain area or have a certain morality, which is the other system we have. Based on your actions or your words, you'll either stay on the side of humanity or you become more nihilistic. So if you take pity when the human is killed, you'll maintain your humanity. If you're like, more for me, that's definitely on the side of nihilism. So you can turn into a bat and fly around. You have a vampire form where your fangs are out and you can feed on humans. You can also hypnotize people once a day. The person, not you. Like, you can hypnotize more than one person, but like people can only be hypnotized once a day. Like, that's what I mean. Cabernet is a kind of blood drink for the high society vampires. They pay for it by the bottle as opposed to getting their own hands dirtied. They treat it like wine and thus Cabernet. They still feed from humans. In fact, they have special powers of hypnosis, like I mentioned, to make that easier, which you can also use to help influence their will, like giving them the idea to drink less alcohol. The beginning of the story moves pretty quickly. You're struggling to adjust to your new vampiric nature. I think the storytelling handles that concept well. There are a few characters that'll help explain things along the way about what the new life will entail, and I can't read my notes because my cat has decided to come join me. And what the rules of being a vampire are. It follows most standard lore for vampires. They even discuss some of the philosophical aspects of being able to live longer than a human and how that changes the meaning, whether it is more or less valuable to be human. Your lifespan means, does it mean more because you have a short span, or does it mean more because you can live longer and grow more as a person? It also offers comedic insight. Teak, sit down. Like, nobody actually likes vodka. It's designed to be terrible and make you feel terrible. I thought that was pretty funny.
Accurate, too.
Yeah. You can read books to gain skills, but also to pass the time. There's a pocket watch in the top right corner of the screen that gives you an approximation of time in blocks like midnight and twilight. And if you reach dawn, you have a little bit of time to get inside to safety, or you'll burn to death, ending your game.
Yay. Ooh.
You'll know by the sparks all over your body. But you need to stay near your vessel or coffin during daylight hours if you are going to survive. So, plan accordingly. Some actions or dialogue choices may have big consequences instead of just little relationship adjustments. Sometimes you'll be given a warning with a curving arrow, other times not so much. In the beginning of the story, some vampires drink a human guest to death and are treated to a good old-fashioned defanging for their troubles, meaning they have to drink the Cabernet to survive and find the means to pay for it, and the cost has just recently gone up. We learn that we've been assigned as an apprentice to the vampire who made us, the Doctor. He'll be our guide to vampiric life. The game has voice acting for all the dialogue and a colorful cast of characters. You can befriend and turn a cat into a vampire cat. I was excited about that. I haven't done that yet, but it is on the achievement list. The art style is like watercolor backgrounds with elegant cut paper characters in the foreground. It all looks hand-painted and beautiful. I love the color palette and the lighting and shadows. The save is part auto, part manual. You can save the mirror in your bedroom even though you have no reflection anymore.
That's one way to save on development costs.
Yeah.
How do you program a mirror? Fuck it, they're vampires.
Yeah, no reflection. Easy peasy.
Fair.
There are 49 achievements in this game.
Oh, geez.
And some of them have conflicting goals, meaning you'll likely have to play this more than once to get all the achievements, which is fine. I'm also curious what it would be like to have less humanity-based playthrough and a more nihilistic one. I'm playing, like, a very goody two-shoes, like, I guess, the first time around.
That's how everyone does it. It's fine.
Yeah.
What'd you say, Jacob?
I said that's what I did, too.
Yeah. Your room is an important mainstay. You can decorate your room when you get the money to do so, like changing the look of your furniture, your curtains, your coffin. You can also change your outfits here to best match the occasion. And your outfits actually have stats attached to them. So, like, your working outfit gives you, like, bonuses to science, and your high society gives you bonuses to, like, literature and art and stuff like that. I don't remember the exact stats on each outfit, but I thought that was a cool system to have. The developers, the Party for Introverts, are a really small team, I noticed from watching the credits. And they were wearing a lot of different hats to make this darling game. The story has a nice pace. It's a little slower it's a little on the slower side in terms of the formality of proper society in a way that I think fits the time period and the expectation of the material to me. I mean, the characters were interesting, the story was good, and so was the music. There were some visual glitches where the character would kind of flip around the screen if you got too close to a wall or something. It wasn't game breaking, it was just annoying. But yeah, I like this one.
Jacob, what are your thoughts on it?
I thought it was an interesting mix-up of the genres. I would like because it definitely feels more of a kind of choose your own adventure kind of thing, and I was a little surprised with the RPG because I was expecting not that because when I hear RPG, like I usually think of like Final Fantasy or it just, not as this game played out. And so it's definitely more of a visual novel take. And I played something similar to this a few months back. And it was another one where you're a vampire and you're learning all about being a vampire, except that one was more of like I was training a vampire. This one is one where you're being trained in the ways of being a vampire. And I did think that some of the puzzles were kind of interesting, and how it would change up how exactly you would play. Like if you're going to go into your bat form and stuff like that, and you had to figure out where you could go and what you could do with it. I thought it was it was not what I was expecting, but I was pleasantly surprised with it. I definitely enjoyed the conversations the most of all in it. And trying to figure out what everyone's deal was.
Well, if people do want to hear more about the game, we invite you to go back in time and check out episode 877 of the SML podcast, where we had Arseny and Laura come on. It was me and Brooke talking to them about the game for a good 50 minutes or so. So
Nice.
that was June of 2023. So jump back, check that one out. As it stands now, the game is out. The game is here. You can play it. You can buy it. It's $20. Give me a verdict.
I mean, if you're looking for a good role-playing game about vampires, you're looking in the right place. I thought it was a delight, and the price is absolutely right for the game. I would say buy it.
Yeah. I'm all right with this. There's definitely a lot of meat to this game. And yeah, I think the $20 price tag is fair.
Very
okay,
cool.
Bri, I have a question.
No.
Okay.
Since you brought it up, you... What the fuck?
Jacob said meat, so I had to play that.
Okay.
Big meaty men
Since you-
slapping meat.
Oh God! Since you mentioned moral choice vampire-y game, have you played Vampire?
So funny story. I tried playing it, but for some reason, the developers did something where you can't stream the game because it'll it removes the audio, and so I never went back to playing the game because I was going to play it on stream.
Oh, okay.
I started it and never finished it. Yeah, sorry.
I was about to ask which one you like more, but obviously you like the one that you could play. Alrighty then. Never mind.
All right, well, moving on. Next game is Undying, developed by Vanimals, published by SkyStone Games, released February 11th on Xbox One, Series X and S, Switch, PS4, and PS5 for $19.99. Caught amid the zombie apocalypse, and with time running out, Anling will stop at nothing to ensure her son Cody gets to safety. Enduring countless perils, including the zombie infection that's beginning to take over her body, not to mention teaching Cody how to survive their harsh new reality. Aki, what is Undying?
Okay, this is a little adventure game where you play a mom and her, 8-year-old kid, 10-year-old kid, some shit like that, who follows after her everywhere. And this is zombie apocalypse. So the world is fucked and all the resources are limited. Enjoy! Yay! So in this, you have to find food and different resources so you can make weapons, traps, upgrades, so on and so forth. You start off in your house, and you have to repair a bunch of stuff in the house because I don't know why, actually. I don't know why everything in the house is fucking broken, but everything's broken. And so your first thing you need to do is find some wood and stuff so you can fix the repair tables, so you can fix something where you can cook, fix stuff so you can upgrade items, so on and so forth. And all while doing this, you just happen to kind of sort of maybe a little bit be bit by a zombie. So you can only function for a limited amount of time each day, and then the infection starts to take hold because you get fatigued. And if you stay out too late, you die and become a zombie, and I assume munch on his brains, what very little of them he has. Otherwise, you go home and you sleep, and you're better, and it's great. All while you're doing this, you're trying to teach him how to survive, which is doing pretty basic things. While you're doing basically any action, you can tap a button to have him come over and watch you do it so he can learn. And eventually that fills up an experience bar for that specific thing, like, because he's stupid, and I'm not using that word lightly, he is really dumb. To tear branches off of a tree, you have to have him watch you tear branches off of a tree 50 times. Because he, a young boy, does not understand the concept of break a twig off a tree. But he understands how to, clean water after only seeing that happen 10 times to remove all the impurities out of it. It's very weird like that. But everything you do basically has a limited amount of times that you have to show him how to do this, and then he can learn it. And when you're near an object, you can tell him to go do that thing, and he'll go do it himself from that point forward. You have to tell him to go do it, but he'll go over there and he'll start working on it until it's done. For instance, like as I said, you have to rip 50 branches out of a tree. Every tree can be done like 10, 15 times. So once he's learned that, you can tell him to go do that, and he'll just start ripping all the branches off, and it's added to your backpack until the tree is done. And it's like that for building things, repairing things, fixing up the car, all that fun shit. Even siphoning gas out of things. You can teach him that too. It's great. There's a whole bunch of things he can learn. There's like 6 to 9 in every single tree, and there's like 3 different sets of trees, and each section has a whole bunch of stuff in it. So it's anywhere from building specific items to fixing up things to planting stuff to how to cook. It is everywhere, and that's really what the game is by teaching him how to do shit, because he is otherwise absolutely worthless. All he is zombie bait. So while you're outside of the house, you find the resources and you can have him go do stuff once he learns how, but you also have to protect him from zombies and yourself from zombies, and you do that with melee weapons or occasionally with some ranged weaponry. Everything does break over time, so I found that there was absolutely no point in using guns if I didn't absolutely have to, because I can't make them. So, and they will break too, so fuck that. I'll just make a metal baseball bat that I can hit a bitch upside the head with. It works. And yeah, so you're doing that, and you start off with just a little bit of your block that you have access to right outside your house. But once you get the car fixed up enough, it can actually drive out of the area, and you can start hitting the places around. You have to find gas for the car, because after it reaches a limit, it starts using gas. It also takes up time of the day. Everything you do takes time. So if you're like, I want to get some clean drinking water so I don't make myself sick by drinking this half nasty water, that takes time. Cooking takes time. Making things takes time. Breaking things down takes time. It all takes fucking time, because this is a time management game, which sucks. No one likes time management. I didn't realize that was as big of a component to this game as it is, and that component is not fun, because after a certain period, which is you're meant to do it early on. I have a feeling you can probably actually skip doing it and allowing you to play with less time constraints, but I'm going to have to test that. You're told that the army has a place where they're getting the last of the people out of this area, and you have 60 days to get there.
Oh, time limits.
Yeah, and on top of that, you can only work so long in the day before the infection starts to take hold because you've come too fatigued, so you have to go back home. And it's not like, oh, I'm back home, now I can do whatever I need. No, you need to get home and in bed. Because even walking around in the house, that timer goes down. And if it goes down, even if you're right next to the bed, you're still dead. You're deader than a doornail. So it's great. The combat's really fun. It's very basic. It's, hold a button for a power attack, and when something comes close, you smack in the fucking head. I didn't really use light attacks because every attack you do does a certain amount of damage to the weapon, and it feels like whether you're doing a normal attack or a heavy attack, it does the same amount. But the amount of damage you do is drastically different. So just power attack your way through the game. It's better. You're not going to be really worried about running out of baseball bats, because right now I think I have like 5 of them that I've just found around.
Nice.
So, yeah. My problem.
Ready to swing for the fences, huh?
Yeah. Sadly, the problem in my game is I haven't found any food for a while, so both my characters are starving and losing health constantly. So my game's going to end because of that, because I haven't found any fucking food since like the first or second day, and it's been like 10. So all of the resources seem to be randomly generated on what you get in any area. Like obviously a tree is going to give you branches, a place with water is going to give you water, and those might be the same in the areas, but like zombies sometimes drop stuff, and they drop random stuff, and you can find like suitcases that you can open up. They have randomized stuff. You can go into stores and find shelving, and they all have randomized stuff. Like for instance, was it who was playing this with me originally? I don't remember. Andy. He went to a grocery store. We were going to have this
on Tuesday's show. Time was running tight, and we moved it to this show where time is once again running tight.
Yeah, like he went to a grocery store. Both of us had managed to get to that grocery store. He found a fuck ton of food. I found scrap. He found so much food. He's not worrying about food. I found nothing but a bunch of low-level upgrade items. I am starving in the game. I can't use any of these items. It's like, fuck my life.
Well, despite all that, I gotta know, are you having fun, and is it worth $20?
I'm kind of iffy if I'm having fun. I enjoy the actual gameplay of the game, but the time constraints, both in the how long you can spend every day, because it's fairly short in actual play time, and in the fact that you only have 60 days to do it, that really, both of those really suck. The time constraints are not fun. But otherwise, I've enjoyed it a lot. So if you like time management games and you like zombie apocalypses and shit, I think this is totally a buy it. If you do not like time management games, I do not suggest this.
So overall, consider it a try it in the middle?
Oh yeah, definitely.
All right. Next up, Dead Dragons, developed by MAGITEC, published by KEMCO. Hey, it's a KEMCO game, and it's a Thursday. Released February 13th on Xbox One, Series X and S, Switch, PS4, PS5, and PC for $14.99. 100 years ago, humans triumphed over dragons, bringing peace to the world, but whispers of their return ignite a thrilling tale. Take on the role of a brave protagonist, uncover the mystery behind a young girl tied to dragons, and decide the fate of an entire world. Bri, you're not Chris, but you're going to do this anyway. How's Dead Dragons?
So yeah, this is my first time reviewing a KEMCO RPG. I'm not a stranger to turn-based RPGs, but I am relatively new to playing KEMCOs. The developer MAGITEC has made a couple games with KEMCO so far, so that's information. There are plenty of options in the menus, including if you just want to focus on the story. If you want, I think it's a DLC, like you can pay to have like 3 times the experience, double the damage, and turning off the encounters entirely.
Yeah, KEMCO has those time savers in their games.
Yeah. So that is an option available to you. I did not have that option, so there you go. And all the achievements for this game are story-related points in the game, so that made this one kind of appealing to me. There's just complete parts of the story, and you get all the achievements. Obviously, you have to play the game along the way, but let's talk about the story.
What?
I know you got to play the game. Dragons used to rule the lands, but the humans rose up and killed them all. There are rumors that there's a dragon in a remote village on the edge of the world, and Will is going to go investigate because his father was a famous dragon historian. Will is like the village protector, so it's his responsibility to check out the rumors. And it turns out that it was a small mechanical dragon, but then we hear a roar from a real dragon high up on the cliffs where a mysterious woman stands, and then everything goes sideways really quickly. The village casts us out because we have the mark of the dragon tattooed on us. They consider it a curse. When really it makes us a powerful warrior because the dragon's scar also gradually steals a person's life force in exchange for having some badass powers. We find out about this from Shikia, who is part of the dragon deity worshippers that most people consider to be evil. And she takes us to her village to learn more about the scar. People aren't evil, they're just misunderstood. They live in harmony with nature, and the dragons are all part of that. The dragon scar stealing life force helps birth more dragons into the world. And so there's a whole rebellion going on in secret. And the only way to heal a dragon scar is to kill the dragon that gave it to you, thus throwing the world into chaos. So Will has to die, or can he find another way? I'll let, I don't want to ruin the story, so I'll let you figure that out on your own. But yeah, he's very optimistic he's going to kill that dragon at first. There's a decent tutorial, and I'm going to move this cat. She really wants treats. Oh my goodness.
Coltrane's been on my lap all night tonight.
She just keeps walking right in front of this, or she's trying to knock the microphone. Oh, goodness. But yeah, decent tutorial. If you were completely new to JRPG style games, I could see this being a good introductory game. As the story progresses, you get more tutorials for different skills you earn, like your curse gets out and helps you, like Ruin. A shadow arm. Yes, it's called Ruin. Like most games of this type, you get experience to fortify your stats and skills. You do this through the nurture option in the menu. And as you fortify your 6 different stats, you also earn skills. Stats, yes. Cats.
Of course,
words.
Aki hears scats.
Yes, I did.
I don't want to know about your personal life, Aki.
You also have what's called downshot, which is an action that appears in normal attacks. It targets the enemy's weak points, and if you succeed at hitting the weak point, you get a critical attack. If you use the auto battle function, downshot is not displayed as an option. The downshot appears like little cards, so you have like 3 cards, and you press like a directional on the D-pad or whatever, and if you select attack when it's one's turn to fight, you flick in the right direction, and then you get the weak point, and you get crit. Yay!
Massive damage.
Yeah, and it's different. It's different every round as well.
Yes.
Yes. I originally thought for the same creature it would be the same one, because that seemed to hold true at the beginning of the game. It is not true.
Yeah, no, I lucked out a couple of times where it was like, oh, hey, look, hitting left, and then my second character hitting left, and then I was like, oh, yeah, nope, that does not work even in the same round. Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
In the menu, go ahead.
Another part about the down,
shot.
whatever the hell it's called, downshot that is how you build up your ruin meter as well. So if you're just auto attacking, you also won't build up a ruin meter. So that's something to keep in mind.
Yeah. In the menu, you also have a nice story list that tells you a quick summary of what you've done and kind of where you are and what your goal is. I like this feature because in so many of this style of game, I feel like I come back and have to remember what I was doing. And I'm so old now, I can't remember shit. Let's see. You don't heal after battles, but you do heal when you level. There are healing points, like little, like kind of like a
little
statue
font
or something. Yeah, like a little fountain or something. And then you're able to manually save from the menu pretty much whenever you want, which is nice.
Super useful.
Yeah. You also get what are called battle cells, which I didn't understand from the tutorial text, but you can create different group strategies for physical damage, magic, and recovery. So you put runes in spots in the front, middle, or rear rows where your characters stand to add extra dimension to their positioning.
Yeah, I will admit, I didn't make a lot of sense to me either.
It did after I played with it.
See, for me, it didn't really make a lot of sense because I mostly auto-battled, and
fair.
It doesn't work the same way if you auto-battle than when you don't auto-battle, so I didn't really get it.
Gotcha. You can also rotate characters in battle so that they move to cover after their actions. It's pretty dynamic. There are also other characters. Go ahead.
Yeah, auto battle will have them rotate, which is why I never understood it. Period. They will always rotate no matter what.
Yeah, you have other characters like Nishay, Oliver, and Alk that have their own specialties and reasons to be in certain spots and rotate them in and out strategically. So, yeah, you get other characters to play with later, which is nice. The sprites and art all have kind of a washed out watercolor look to them, but they're perfectly pleasant. There's a HUD map displayed that is decent for navigating spaces with. The downside is, for me, is really quickly into the game, I felt like I was doing something wrong, and the enemies suddenly felt like they were impossible to kill. And the companion character picked up no damage, and, you have to play with the rotating, was what I learned. But yeah, it was like the only spot that I could put her in was the second spot, and then moving her to the first spot, and it was confusing. I mean, you can save whenever, so I saved early and often and just ground it out until I could get someplace in the story.
Yeah, that's how KEMCO games are. You're gonna grind a lot.
Yeah. That's just old school RPG mentalities.
Yeah.
Grinding is key.
Yeah, it felt like it was really a sudden wall to me.
I think those walls are there to gently encourage microtransaction purchases, but if you've got patience, you don't need them.
About that, in lots of these games, well, in all of these games, there are the microtransaction-y stuff that don't really. Sorry, it's part of my headset is scraping when I move occasionally. In all of these games, these were originally, I believe, phone games or something, right, Joe?
Mobile,
I believe most of them are mobile, yeah.
Yeah, so there was an aspect of paying to move forward in all of these, and when they ported them over, they kept it. They just changed how it worked.
Right.
And lots of the ones I played, because I played when they were first being ported over, they were like you had trees that grew fruits, and those fruits gave you basically the currency that you would buy all the online stuff with, and you had to be in game for those plants to grow. In this one, they give you little DDP points or something like that, and they are just randomly given to you in battles. So you can quickly get a lot of money just based on luck, just standard fighting. And in it, there isn't insane things like in lots of the other games. You could just buy like a random godlike weapon, which is a shame. I would really like that to be in this game too. But like you can use the points, like you get 10 points at a time. For 15 points, you can get something that increases 2 of your stats by 1. And I've gotten probably 200-300-ish points total out of the game already, and I played it for like 2 or 3, maybe 4 hours most.
I know those systems work differently. There's like 50 of these RPGs out now, so all the systems are going to work a little different between them. I know a lot of the ones that you're referring to are X-Create developed, and this is MAGITEC developed, so that's probably a difference there as well. Also, the really difference in battle system seems neat.
Yeah. It's very different.
It's a $15 game like most KEMCO games. If you're on Xbox, one purchase gets you Play Anywhere, PC, Xbox, and Series X, S.
Fuck yeah.
What are your thoughts on this one for $15?
Bri, I'll let you go first.
The story was decent. The combat was interesting enough. I would say the price is right for the content, but I would put this at a try it or wait for a sale. I just didn't fall in love with any of the characters or any one element of the game. Like, it was pretty middle of the road for me.
That's fair.
Whilst I don't particularly like any of the characters either, I don't usually like many of the characters in these games, sadly. They're just very typically bland, or they're kind of jackasses, so that's not a big proponent for me. I really like how you get the points to buy the online store stuff, and the difference in combat was different enough that I actually really liked it. So I think this is totally a buy it if you like older school RPGs. If you don't, then obviously you don't want this game. But I think it's definitely a buy it for me.
If you look at this game and you're like, no, you're not going to like it. That's just how these games are. But if you look at this and you're like, oh, that looks like a fun looking retro RPG, I guess it hits the itch, scratches that itch.
Yeah.
All right.
This is the first time I've been really for one of these in a while. Because I know when I was reviewing them regularly, at first I was really excited, and then that very quickly tapered off to whatever.
Because they are mostly X-Create games. Like they're the big
they were all basically
developer.
the same thing.
I mean, they have years of mobile releases, so
yeah. This one was different enough; it made me excited again for this stuff. So I really like this one.
All right. Well, we got 2 more games. Should be quickies. Next up is Alpaca-2, developed and published by Synnergy Circle Games. Released February 12th on Xbox One, Series X and S for $4.99, Windows Store for $4.99, bundle for $7.99. After saving the alpaca goddess and vanquishing eternal darkness, you now have to save the alpaca world again. Fragments of darkness started appearing, and it's your job to destroy them and ensure peace will remain into the colorful alpaca world. Jacob, what's Alpacapaca-2?
So, Alpaca-2 obviously is the sequel to the first one. And this one, they actually do some changes to the gameplay that I'll be honest, I wasn't exactly the biggest fan of. Not that it really seems to make that much of a difference. But I like how in the first one, you could just have that beam set to automatically go off whenever there was like it would auto target for you. And this one, you definitely have to handle it like as you're jumping. And so while the game, like as you're running through the like land and all that kind of stuff, while that's going on, it's not nearly as hard to navigate it, which I mean, I guess necessitated it in the first game. But I still like that preference where all I had to worry about was, where I was jumping and stuff like that. So now I have to go back to thinking about like, oh my God, am I going to shoot at the right time? And there are upgrades like the previous one, except this one, it's really just life. Like that's it. There are different alpacas that you can ride around on, and like it's just like it's not that varied. And unlike it feels weird saying this, but it's just like there doesn't seem to be as much of a story in this one, which is which feels like to be it feels really weird to complain about that in Alpaca Dash.
Alpacapaca, 2 pacas.
My bad. Alpacapaca.
You better
Dash.
be sorry.
But yeah, there's essentially no story in this. And so it's just like the game keeps track of like how many bosses you destroy and like how many things like you turned into friends, but like it doesn't seem like there's much to it. And like I was disappointed I didn't get fulfilled like I did with the first Alpaca Dash. Like, you know, as
Alpacapaca. God damn it.
Yeah, I don't like it's fine. But it just
all right, well, let's talk about price, because there's a couple of options here. We've got Alpacapaca Dash 2 for $4.99. You got Alpacapaca Dash 2 on Windows and Xbox for $7.99. You have Alpacapaca Dash 1 and 2 for Xbox only for $7.99. Or Alpacapaca Dash 1 and 2 bundle Xbox and Windows, all 4 for $15.99. Give us your thoughts on everything.
I would really question, like, the question really just comes down to, like, how much do you care about stacks? If you do care about stacks, then yeah, because then you probably, like,
they're fairly easy completions. So.
Yeah, you're just there for the achievements anyway. So yeah, $15 for everything is not bad. But if you don't care about the stacks, then just figure out which one you want to have it on, whether it's Xbox or Windows, and go from there. Like, I mean, they're not bad. It's just, it's there. Yeah. I didn't like it as much as the first one.
Sophomore slump.
I fear to see what happens in Alpacapaca Dash 3. You know,
hey man, I'm waiting for 4. Alpacapaca Dash 75. Just keep putting these out every other month until like 2073, and see how big of a franchise you could build. I don't know. Like, it's cute, it's fun, but once you get the achievements, there's no real reason to return to it.
Yeah, like I was surprised, like just how. It felt like how little there was to this. Yeah.
All right. Well, we got one final game to talk about tonight. That's called Bee Flowers, developed and published by AFIL Games. Released February 19th, Xbox One, Series X and S, Switch, PS4, PS5, PC for $4.99 each platform. That's right, triple stack on Xbox. If you're sick and tired of seeing these games get 3 releases each, here's another one. So, immerse yourself in the enchanting world of Bee Flowers, a delightful puzzle game where you guide busy bees through hexagonal grids to pollinate vibrant fields of flowers. With its relaxing mechanics and progressively challenging puzzles, this game offers the perfect blend of strategy and serenity. Jacob and Bri, both of you played this one. I hear this one's pretty good, so give me your thoughts.
Who's going?
You
Flip
go
a coin.
first.
Jacob, go.
Okay. All right. So yeah. So this is a hexagonal puzzle game where you have to rotate or swap pieces to make it so that the bee can make it to the egg, like to the beehive. Now there are flowers along the way that it's great if the bee pollinates them, but it's not really required for completion unless you want to get the achievements. And so, yeah, it's just a bunch of these kind of puzzles. Thankfully, there is a hint system within the game that'll give you an outline of what it's supposed to look like. And I did have to use that once fairly early on, just so I could get an idea of like how like the game works. And once I understood like some of the mechanics for how certain pieces were supposed to be used, like, I don't want to say it was a walk in the park, but it definitely made the game far more accessible and enjoyable. That being said, I mean, there's not really a whole lot to it, like, beyond what I've described, but I was having fun with it. I liked it.
Bri, what are your thoughts? Tell us about this.
I got to be a bee.
You got to be a bee.
I got to catch butterflies.
Oh.
Yeah, that was for an achievement.
Did you get all the achievements?
I did.
Okay.
But yeah, I agree. I also had to use a hint kind of early on for very similar reasons. Like I wasn't sure what I was supposed to be doing initially, and like that one clue kind of like helped me understand where I could move tiles and why I should move tiles, and that you have like multi-directional tiles like X's and Y's that change the direction that you move on. And so sometimes your bee will go back over its track, or you even get two bees at a certain point, which there's an achievement for getting them to crash into each other, which is like really easy. But yeah, I mean, there's just a good amount of strategy involved, but it's a fairly easy puzzle game. I don't know. I really enjoyed it.
I was gonna say I had to use my hint for the level that had the first X piece.
Yeah, the one that's shaped like a pretzel.
Yeah, I wasn't sure
that's the same one I used it for too.
Yeah, like how I was supposed to play out with this. I did find the Y pieces to be, or not the Y ones, but the ones that I mean, they're kind of set up as a Y.
Yeah, there's like a lowercase y and an uppercase Y. Yeah,
but it like guides, like, and so like the first time that they go through it, and that thing was a pain in the ass to figure out how those worked. But once you do, like, the game floats along pretty easily. Yeah, I liked it.
All right, well, let's talk price on this one, because it's triple stack. There's bundles. Game itself is $4.99, presently on sale for $3.99. Xbox One Series X bundle for $7.99, or triple stack bundle with Xbox Series X and S and Windows for $10.49. Is it worth buying once, twice, thrice, or not at all?
I would say buy it for, if you just want to play it once, because I mean, playing it a second time, it kind of ruins the surprise. You already know how to solve the puzzles, maybe not exactly, but you know what you need to do, so that kind of spoils the surprise. But I mean, I've already played at least 2 stacks. I'm gonna do a third tomorrow, because achievements. So I mean, it's a pretty straightforward completion if you'd want achievements. Like, it's a good price for the bundle.
Yeah, I mean, I'm erring towards, like, do you care about the stacks or not? If you do, then yeah, just buy the triple stack. If you don't, then just buy whatever platform you're going to have it on and just stick with that. If you don't care about the achievements, I don't know that it's really worthwhile to do all 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, there you go. That is our verdict. That is our show. Thanks everyone for hanging out, being here for the whole thing. Music this episode, I'm gonna see if I can get away with 9 Inch Nails, but I probably can't, so we'll play something. It'll be a surprise to everyone. What do you think?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So, yeah, we're done. Anyone have any final words?
Pizzle.
But shizzle my pizzle.
No hesitation at all. Just immediate pizzle.
Johnny's in America, no tricks at the wheel. No one needs anyone, they don't even just pretend. Johnny's in America. I'm afraid of Americans. I'm afraid of the world. I'm afraid I can't help it. I'm afraid I can't. I'm afraid of Americans. I'm afraid afraid of the world. I'm afraid I can't help it. I'm afraid I can't. I'm afraid of Americans. Johnny's in America. Johnny wants a brain. Johnny wants to suck on the coke. Johnny wants a woman. Johnny wants to think of a joke. Johnny's in America. I'm afraid of Americans. I'm afraid of the world. I'm afraid I can't help it. I'm afraid I can't. I'm afraid of Americans. I'm afraid of the world. I'm afraid I can't help it. I'm afraid I can't. I'm afraid of Americans. Johnny's in America. Johnny looks up at the stars. Johnny combs his hair and Johnny wants to see in cars. Johnny's in America. Johnny's in America. I'm afraid of Americans. I'm afraid of the world. I'm afraid I can't help it. I'm afraid I can't. I'm afraid of Americans. I'm afraid of the world. I'm afraid I can't help it. I'm afraid I can't. Yeah, I'm afraid of Americans. I'm afraid of the worst. I'm afraid I can't help it. I'm afraid I can't. I'm afraid of Americans. God is an American. 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 God is an American.